Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the Talk Nintendo podcast, aka the E3 Prediction Extravaganza. And joining me tonight, as always, the one, the only, Perry Burke.
I'm so glad that this is not a video podcast because it is officially the take my pants off once I get home season.
It is pretty warm and toasty, although not in New York. It's terrible and cold. But also joining us tonight, a somewhat recurring guest at this point, the good man, Alex Osborn himself.
I'm back. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure is all ours. We are excited to have you on because we've got some good E3 predictions going on today, but I think we...
Oh, baby. It's like the biggest E3 prediction show ever. I don't think there's any other. Yeah. Yeah, so it's so packed that we're going to start with some Reddit posts that we got from our giveaway. They were giving us their predictions for E3, and we're going to start with Striker Obi, who said, "New ARMS amiibo announced." So
I hope so. That would be awesome. I mean, I think at this point, if the amiibo were to be announced, they probably would be, but I'd probably buy those ARMS amiibo.
I could see it like with Springman, and like the arm is an actual spring that you can go boing 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 boing.
That are like the arms are so long they have to have like those yellow pea sticks that the Link had back in the day just to like extend them up.
Oh my goodness. That's funny, but I just thought of an actual thing that I could totally see Nintendo doing. Seriously, imagine this. Making ARMS amiibo where you can change the arms on each amiibo.
Just be like little action figures.
Yeah. But I mean, they could still be in the stands, but then they'd actually sell like an ARMS bundle. And like you could actually buy different arms, or they just each come with two different arms, but you can put them on each different amiibo.
God help us if that's the case.
And then you scan those in, and you unlock different portals inside of the game for content. See, so you have to have, you have to have the boxing glove and the boomerang to get to this dungeon.
If you want to fully equip your ARMS fighter, you only need to spend $100 extra on physical DLC.
Yes. Yes.
And they're all
ARMS
in blind packs,
Landers.
so you have to buy them over and over, hoping to get the special.
Yeah. Could you imagine Nintendo releasing an NFC blind pack thing where you could only buy them like that, and it was for a really weird, random, digital only game?
It sounds miserable.
Anyway, yes, new ARMS amiibo would be great. Alex, what's the next one we got?
Next one we got is from There Is No Fourth Wall, who says Dragon Quest X finally comes to the West on Nintendo Switch.
Ooh,
that'd be something.
Yeah.
That's the MMO, right? I don't know if that would ever happen. It would be interesting.
It would be interesting. Also because on Switch, right? Like, I know it is releasing in Japan, but Switch is not online all the time when it's portable. So, it's just... Yeah. I don't think online crazy games... I don't know. I mean, I think just for where it sits, it'd be a hard sell for the localization.
Yeah.
I'm more... sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm honestly more excited for Dragon Quest XI, hopefully, get maybe some Switch news at the presentation.
Right. Yeah, I think that's far more likely.
Yeah.
Wayward Traveler wrote in and said, Pikmin 4 is coming and will feature some sort of online mode. And then he said, don't laugh at me, I know it's unrealistic, but it's his dream. I could see Pikmin 4 being announced.
I don't think that's like super... That and an online mode, I think, is completely
within the realm.
The realistic realm. Yeah. I think that'd be awesome. I think that just even with the whole bingo battle thing, anything. I think an online mode would be really simple to do and cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the last one, Nibbler. they say, I think this one is pretty unrealistic because I think it's obviously going to be happening. But Melee HD will not be mentioned.
I think Nibbler's got it right.
It's a pretty risky, it's pretty out there for a prediction.
Definitely taking a major leap. I also would like to predict that Star Fox Adventures Dinosaur Planet HD will not be mentioned.
I can't wait till
mentioned,
I was going to say both of those two games, like right off the bat, they're like, so the presentation is going to be about a half hour. The first 15 minutes is really going to just highlight Melee HD, and then we got a big surprise, another HD release.
If that happens, I will be completely convinced that Alex works at Nintendo.
Yeah.
Or at least my uncle does.
Yeah. Very good.
Excellent.
Very good. Well, we are going to be talking more predictions throughout the show, but now it is time for
the eShop Roundup. Yeehaw.
Yes, it's the eShop Roundup time. It's early on. We're not doing what we've been playing this week. We're getting right into the Wii U downloads.
Wii U downloads, man, going strong every week, minus that one.
Minus that one. Yeah. Why don't you start us off, Casey?
Sphere Slice is coming out for $1.49, and I believe it's sort of like the Fruit Ninja game for iOS, something similar.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going. I mean, even like the font is like the same as like the font on there.
I love the screenshots. The background's just like a wood floor, like really cruddy wood floor, and you're just slicing these spears in half, and like it looks like maybe paint comes out of them. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty bare bones, but I guess for $1.49, can't expect too much now.
That's right. All right, this next game, Koki the Game, for $5.99 on the Wii U eShop. This game, it's very colorful, and it's 47 plus levels of fun.
That means there's probably 48 levels.
They could have said like near 50.
Almost near 50 levels.
Almost 50. Yeah, but anyway, check it out if 48 levels sounds.
It's funny. I had a stuffed animal named Koki.
Yeah, I've heard of Koki. I think it's like a. Yeah, it's like a. It's like a thing.
I had no idea. I was in Puerto Rico. I was very young, and I had I had this Shamu, this little Shamu stuffed animal, and my brother had a Pooh Bear, right? And we're in the hotel, and the next morning, we went out during the day. Obviously, housekeeping comes in, cleans up the room, and they put my brother's Pooh Bear on the bed with a little folded up towel on his lap and a little treat. I don't know. I thought it was super cool, and I wanted that to happen to my Shamu. So I left my Shamu on the bed, and they wrapped Shamu up in the blankets, dude, and they took him away forever. And dude, I was like, oh no! And my mom called up the front office, and we tried to find that thing, and he was just gone. And they ended up buying me this frog from the gift shop to make up for it, and I named him Koki because the frogs sounded like they were making Koki noises, and I ended up doing that, and then my brother ripped his leg right almost off on the airplane. I'm like, you son of a bitch,
Dude, but Koki is like a thing in Puerto Rico. Koki the frog. That's it's a common name for several species of small frogs.
Well, maybe, interesting.
So someone must have... Yeah, see, native to Puerto Rico.
Maybe my parents named him that, or, told me that was the kind of frog he was or something. But yeah, good old Koki.
That's funny. Well, Alex, what's the next game?
The next game is Swap Blocks for $4.99. It's a match 3 puzzle game with little achievements.
Yeah, you play the game, and it'll say, stuff like, do 2 orange blocks, blah blah blah, within the next 30 seconds,
Gotcha.
So stuff like that kind of pops up. I think that's kind of a cool idea, like real-time achievements, like while you're going. So,
dude, I swear we get like a Swap Blocks game every week, like a new Swap Blocks game comes out, and I'm so confused.
Swap is it's just a, that's a common, swap note, swap fire.
I like the
swap blocks
on the Nintendo website. The game details list the number of players to be determined, despite already being out. I'm still trying to figure that out.
I know that it looks clean, and that David Lloyd, NWR staff, reviewed it for Nintendo World Report. So you can check out his review if you want to hear more about swap blocks.
That wraps it for the Wii U download. Moving on to the old 3DS, we have Of Mice and Sand for $7.99. Now this is based on Steinbeck's lesser-known sequel, and it is a simulation game, I believe, right? Breed mice, what?
Oh, I played a dirty trick on you just now.
What's? Oh, is that?
I was hoping that you would read those bullet points without thinking about it.
Sort of like I did.
Well, Of Mice and Sand, based on Steinbeck's lesser-known sequel. Of Mice and Men.
Gotcha.
It worked out exactly how I planned, but now I just feel bad.
Yeah, you can keep it. I don't care.
No, it's not based on a John Steinbeck novel.
Well, you know of.
It is a sim game where you breed mice with various items.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, this game, it's Circle brought it over. It's funny because like you look at it and it almost looks like, I mean, it's like it's too big for how small this 3DS screen is. Like, and if you like, it looks kind of like if you took like an iPhone game and then put it on the 3DS. So it wasn't like properly
not optimized,
like synced. Yeah, optimized. There you go. So. But anyway, it's interesting, and it's like a sim game where you want to keep breeding mice, and they're in this big thing, and then you don't want them to starve, and you want to find El Dorado. So, yeah, I mean, couldn't be clear, right?
Fancy living.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the only game on the 3DS, and there's only one game on the Switch. And Alex, why don't you tell us about it?
It is called Neo Geo Last Resort for $7.99, and it's 85 megabytes.
Good old 85 megabytes.
Is that
yeah?
Is that a?
Oh, go ahead.
As far as size goes, is that standard?
Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think that's a pretty good size for those Neo Geo games. Sometimes they're like 120 or. They've been bigger.
Yeah, but
the weird thing is like the TurboGrafx 16 games on the Wii U. That's the weird one. Those are like 500 and some megabytes.
Okay, outrageously large.
But, yeah.
Must be something to do with the emulator.
Yeah, it must be. It makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me on a Wii U because of the hard drive, but like on a Switch, I just feel like the size kind of matters a little more because it's a portable thing and you only have so much space on your SD card and whatever, I don't know. But yeah.
So it's a shmup released in '92. Are you guys familiar with the game?
I'm not.
I'm not too particular with it. Yeah, I know Neo Geo is like the two genres most represented are definitely the shoot 'em ups and the fighting games. I've already played two Neo Geo shoot 'em ups on the Switch. I was going to say Virtual Console, but I guess it's not really Virtual Console. It actually looks pretty cool. I wonder.
Yeah, it does. Like I like the color scheme and.
Yeah, and one of the bosses looks like just like you're fighting like his leg. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I who knows? That might be another one. Maybe I'll play every single shoot 'em up game on the Neo Geo via Switch. Looks pretty cool though.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna round off the eShop Roundup with a
My Nintendo Reminder.
That's right. It's time to be reminded of My Nintendo. Although, I bet you probably don't want to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Please don't remind us.
Yeah. Ha! I don't care. You're listening, and it's time for the Nintendo Select-a-thon.
Woo! These are actually pretty good deals, though. I mean, if you don't already have the games.
Yeah, you know the people that listen to Nintendo podcasts that don't own Animal Crossing New Leaf? Or they don't own it, but, you know, over time they still haven't bought it. Well, now they can get 15% off.
Or for the crazy collectors that want to have the Nintendo Selects versions, now they can get 15% off.
For digital ones, where there's literally no difference.
Dude, some people do collect all the variants of the games that come out.
Yeah, but I know, but the digital ones are the same thing.
Oh, these are digital, derp. Yeah, now I'm not thinking.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if they did have like a little digital designation.
Yes, this one is, yeah. You're not special. This is the Nintendo Selects version. You bought it years late.
It costs less.
But yeah, what do we got? 15% off Animal Crossing New Leaf, the Welcome Amiibo edition, as well as 15% off Wind Waker HD. Then we get into the 20% off.
Oh baby.
Off Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and Tamagotchi Life. And then
That's a good deal.
Then what we these percentages, they're all over the place. 15% off Pikmin 3 for Wii U and 30% off Punch-Out for Wii U. That's actually pretty good. Good old Punch-Out.
Yeah, let's see, that would be like 30%. Let's see. That'd be like $14 for Punch-Out.
That's not bad. That's a good game.
It's a great game, but I got it when it was $10 cuz
well, aren't you fancy?
Came out, you know. Oh, well, you know, you snooze, you lose. That's what I say. But speaking of snoozing, it's the end of the My Nintendo Reminder.
My Nintendo Reminder.
And we're going to move on to some more predictions from Reddit. And Casey's going to tell us about this first one.
This one's from Huz12, HUHZ12. At the end of the presentation, oh yeah, don't think we forgot about the Legend of Zelda DLC. The summer pack will be available after this presentation. Have fun. I hope. They're probably just going to give a release date for it, to be honest. I could see it sort of dropping somewhat, you know, either right after the presentation.
Have they even talked about when it's going to drop?
I mean,
didn't they say June?
It just said summer, I think. Which I guess technically it's still spring, you know, but...
That's true.
I don't know, I could see it coming, because it's not like it's really a ton of content. Like, I know it adds the, like, hard mode and some different little features, but, like, it's not like it would be, like, something you'd really want to hype up to release. So I could see it, I could see it dropping.
That does seem more like a Nintendo Direct type thing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like an E3 presentation. I guess they said at the end, but or maybe during a Treehouse Live.
That's what I would imagine. It'd be more of a Treehouse Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys.
It's interesting because I don't know. I just feel like you never know with Nintendo. Like, I mean, I think honestly it also depends on how substantial this dungeon and this story stuff really is, you know? Whether you really want to carve out a whole section to share that or not. I think we're going to hear something about Zelda, but...
yeah.
I'd love to hear what the story, you know, mission or whatever they're going to call it is.
Even if they just dropped in like a 60-second trailer, just kind of teasing the DLC or something.
Oh, yeah. Dude, imagine if
that would
like you think like Mario Kart 8 DLC, you know, like how amazing that was. I mean, imagine if we got the equivalent of that to Zelda Breath of the Wild, like half of a game, you know.
Well, that would be.
I'm just saying, it'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty crazy, but I would just be happy even if it's like a couple hours, really good story mode, and it would make sense to be like, hey guys, like Alex said, here's a minute trailer of what to expect with the story mode. Oh yeah, the first pack is out now. Make sure to buy the season pass, you know, and like get people hyped up for the story, and then they go, you know what, I'm gonna buy it now because I'm also gonna get some added features with this because I haven't purchased the season pass yet.
Yeah, me neither. I don't have my Switch shirt.
Yeah, I didn't need the Switch shirt.
Did you buy the season pass, Alex?
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, I was like, there's no reason why
Right.
I'm not, so.
Yeah, I was like,
Can you level up? Can you power up the Switch shirt?
I
doubt
don't know.
it.
It would be pretty
Yeah,
amazing
I
if
don't
you
know.
could make that like the most badass armor in the
Yeah.
game.
I need 20 star shards. I'm still looking for those star shards. Although I did find out that Lionel's drop them sometimes.
I haven't played
So.
Breath of the Wild in like a month and a half.
I play it every day.
Nerd.
It's so good. Still haven't beat Ganon. Because I've decided I'm going to wait till the DLC drops to beat Ganon.
Wow.
Why?
I have... hey, the reasons are my own.
All right.
Which is to say, I
But-
don't really have a good reason.
I bet you.
Okay.
I bet you he went
Okay.
in there and got his butt handed to him, and he was like, "Oh, I can't go back in there."
No way.
Yeah.
No way. I have fully leveled up Guardian gear.
Yeah, that's what they all.
I do.
That's what all the losers say.
Hey man, I have fully leveled up Guardian gear. No, I just figured it's so much fun to play. I love the anticipation of facing Ganon, and I'm having so much fun just going around and like I'm just still having fun with the game. And I just feel like when I beat Ganon, I'm not gonna have as much fun just walking around because I don't have something to look forward to like that. So I figure like I'm extending the length of the enjoyment
Well,
in some weird way. And I figure that when the DLC comes, then I can play, like, I'll be looking for the Korok seeds and stuff like that and playing around with costumes and whatnot. I don't know.
well, you still have the Switch shirt to look forward to, even if you beat Ganon.
That's true. That's true. But moving on, Alex, you want to say what the next prediction
If
is?
you can handle this one.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful. Terraforce 777 says Wave Race Switch. I love this prediction.
Ooh, baby.
That-
Wave Race.
That would be awesome, even if it was like a I'm trying to think, like a $20 or like download game, where it was like something in the
yes.
kin of like a fast RMX, where it
Right.
was like that kind of content, like fun, looks good, plays fun, but it's not like the deepest game ever, but
Right.
add some online play.
Yeah,
I know, and like...
I
Yeah,
don't think
go
we're
ahead.
gonna get a racing game so close, like, or an announcement of another Switch racing game so close to Fast Racing RMX and Mario Kart. As much as I would love to see Wave Race, and it is a different sort of style of racing game, of course, but yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since we've had a proper Wave Race game.
Man, I've never played Blue Storm. I really want. That's one of the games
Me
I'd
either.
love to go back to.
Mm.
But I mean, I've actually recently played the first one, like in this last year, and my wife grew up with the game. It's like one of her favorite games ever, like super nostalgic for her. And so I would absolutely love a new one, and I love that idea of having it like maybe even a cheap game, or since it's the same guys that did it, like cross 1080, like like a mix.
Extreme
Where you-
sports.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Where it could be, it'd be Wave Race cross 1080 cross Rabbids,
That could work.
something like that.
But I tell you what, you said you haven't played what's the second one called?
Blue Storm.
Blue Storm? I have not as well.
Oh, I heard that on a podcast somewhere. Maybe it's a Famicast. Hold on, just real quick, because Blue Storm, because 1080 Avalanche was going to be called 1080 White Storm.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that.
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool. That'd be pretty cool. But we could keep
Yeah,
that
anyway, what
as
were you saying?
a possibility for a We Demand We future segment.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to mark that one down. But
Yep.
now we got one more here. I think Perry, you're gonna take this bad boy, this sucker, right?
Sure. Oh, and this is Yeah, make sure no one else is listening, everyone. Like, make sure like you have your earphones
Yeah, this
in.
is a secret here.
Yeah, this comes from Harbin N. Harbin M. Or Harbin. They say I'm not supposed to release this information, but a new Mario Party will be announced.
You heard it here first. Talk Nintendo.
Yep. So, but don't let anyone know. So, don't tell IGN, Alex.
Yeah.
My lips are sealed.
Don't be writing any new editorials.
Yeah, he's already getting like the news blaster getting ready, you know.
Yeah.
From a trusted source.
Oh,
IGN exclusive.
via Harbinem.
Yes, but yeah, I think a new Mario Party would be great. But we might be talking about that.
I was gonna say
in our feature segment.
I have a feeling
So,
we're gonna hear about that a little later.
Yeah, but speaking of a little later, let's take a little break and come back to the news.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
All right, it's the news before the big news week in next week, but we've got some good stuff to talk about here. There was actually
a new Direct.
Yeah, there's a Nintendo Direct actually the morning of recording, as well as some other stuff. But we're gonna save that for the tail end of the news. Before we get into that, we have some news out of the NBA Playground. Now, this was a game that released for all the consoles, including Switch, but the Switch version, the online was told, it would be coming soon, and it is still not come yet. But what is good is that they're going to make it up to early adopters of the game by offering the Shaq Fu for free if you purchase it before the update with the online. And I guess they're remaking... I don't know if it's a remaster or just a re-release of Shaq Fu. But it's pretty cool that at least they're sort of acknowledging their mess up and giving the fans who, got in on the game early a little bone to sort of ease their wounds.
Yeah, that is cool. Casey.
Yeah.
I have a demand. And this isn't an I Demand You segment, but I do have an actual demand that you must do.
Okay, what's that?
When you get a Retron, I want you, the first game that you stream on that, to be the Shaq Fu that I sent you for Christmas.
I can do that. I tell you what, I actually played Shaq Fu at, remember I talked about that like retro game group I'm a part of?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played some Shaq Fu there. Good old Shaq Fu.
Did you bring your copy, or that was before?
No, I don't know if it was beforehand or not, but they had their own copy of Shaq Fu. As every good Nintendo fan does.
Now I'm feeling inadequate, guys.
Oh no! Yeah, don't worry. I didn't have it until
I've never played it.
I didn't have it until Perry sent it to me.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Have you seen the trailer for the new Shaq Fu game?
I haven't.
It's pretty funny. It's like back then in 1992 or whatever. It's like this game was released and it sucked. I mean, it says that,
Really?
But now we're releasing. Yeah, it's like now and it shows like the new game and the new game how it plays and stuff. And it's like it'll be better than the last one. That was pretty funny.
Oh, good old Shaq Fu.
It actually looks pretty cool. Honestly, like, it looks well done. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Shaq Fu. Shaq. As in Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, Shaq's got to feel pretty great to have his own fighting video game.
Yes. That's amazing. So, let's move on with the news with the Smash leaks that we talked about last week have been debunked.
Yes.
And the people that made it released a video showing how they did it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought a couple of the earlier ones might have been real, and then they started getting kooky with it, and it was like, okay, like, these are definitely fake. But
oh, I didn't see any other ones besides the 4.
Yeah, they started like posting like actual switches with like game like of the game running, you know what I mean? But like a physical switch, and then it was like, those might be, BS, but
yeah.
You guys remember that like football shaped switch that was like 3D printed going around? Ever since that, it's just like anytime there's a quote unquote leak that pops up, it's just.
I just can't believe people thought that was gonna be the Switch. I just,
dude, that was so, like, looking back at it now, it's like,
I know,
ew, like there's no way Nintendo would ever done that. But then at the same token, at the time, you're like, Nintendo's freaking crazy enough to do something weird like that, though.
I mean, we were
Nintendo was crazy
I mean,
enough.
the Wii was the Wii U was struggling real bad, and you're thinking like, this is the future. It's just, it painted a very bleak picture when.
It's all over. It's like Nintendo's packing it up.
Yeah, they have lost their minds, but luckily that's not. And side note here, I'm just wondering with you guys, do you guys kind of feel like the Switch is almost too good to be true, and that, like, not that we're living in a dream. I just realized that you might be. That's not where I was going with that. No, but I feel like, like with the reports of the screen bending and stuff like that, like, do you think there's gonna be like a huge, like, kind of equivalent of like the Red Ring of Death, but for Switch?
I feel like it was. I mean, have you guys had any Joy-Con syncing issues?
I haven't had that, but I had to get my Pro Controller replaced.
Okay.
I've been perfect. But like for me, my room is literally like, I'm trying to think, maybe like a 12 by 12 box, so I'm really close to my TV and the Switch from my chair here. So it's like, I don't know if maybe, if I had a bigger room, maybe I'd run into those Joy-Con issues, but since I'm so close to the console, every time I play it, I haven't luckily had anything yet. So it's almost too good.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it probably will be as much of an issue anyway. With it seems like everyone's probably going to end up buying an extra pair, and with Nintendo, it sounds like they've kind of fixed that issue in all future releases, and obviously in the new Joy-Cons.
Like they knew what it was.
Right.
Yeah. I'm already waiting for
Those
my
yellow ones, man.
my yellow cons, man.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Perry, I think that was probably it, and I think honestly, I think the potential Achilles heel of Switch might be the whole online voice chat situation. I hope it's great, and I hope Nintendo has a really cool sort of vision for it that we're just not seeing. But that seems to be sort of the concern from most folks right now, especially after that hoary headset.
I was saying, speaking of which, why don't you take us into this next topic here, Alex?
Okay, so Nintendo Online. So
is that the name? Is that an official thing?
The official name, I think, is Nintendo Switch Online. At least I believe so. I think the website, when they updated it with the new information, it looks like it's called like either Switch Online or Nintendo Switch Online.
The logo shows like a Switch, like the Joy-Con logo. It says online, and then underneath it says Nintendo Switch Online. So it seems like it's just going to be.
But it's so the voice chat thing. It's not going to be where a separate Skype thing, where you can just play it and like we could just be not even playing together, but still talking to each other. Is that what I'm assuming now? Maybe it's literally game by game, and you have to like be hooked to your Switch, and
it just, I mean,
right or no?
It would be nice if I could just take my headphones and plug it into the bottom. It just, I think everyone's kind of freaking out after seeing the hoary headset where you have like this breakout box, and you have one cable going to your phone, another cable going to your Switch, and then one going to your, for your headset.
But the only reason that you would put that to the Switch is so you could hear the Switch volume, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, hear
in the
Switch.
headphones. I mean, Because
Yeah.
the way
Right.
I saw it is like you could. I mean, the way I feel like most people will end up playing will be either just I'm gonna have my phone on speaker and my my Switch volume on, or you put in like one earbud and like listen to. Oh, I can hear my Switch either if you're playing docked or handheld. Hear it that way, and then
Yeah.
I can just listen to my friends in my ear. Is how I mean.
I mean, yeah, that's how I do it all the time. That's the only way I do it, that I play. Because it's so easy. You just have your phone there on speaker, and you can hear everything, and then you don't have to have any headphones on, and you can hear the TV, and it works, So it's just, I still don't see how they could even make a better, like, I don't know how they can make a better version of Skype. Like, I have an Xbox One. I've used the Skype on there. It's not easier, and it's to have a nice separate thing on the phone, I think it's just the easiest. Like I just don't. I feel like it's kind of like a non-issue to me.
But wouldn't it be
Like,
nice if it was just all right through the game rather than having a separate?
No, I don't think so at all, because a lot of times me and Case will be playing and we'll switch games, and I'll just get up and I don't have to end the call, and
Yeah,
I just do
but
it real quick, and then or sometimes we're not playing the same game. Or,
Yeah, but can
Well,
you? Oh
yeah.
I'm thinking back to like maybe it's the Xbox 360. You can just create like group
group,
chat
yep.
lobbies that aren't tied
Right.
to a game.
Right.
You have that flexibility, but it's all
Right.
within sort of just the within the Switch. It would presumably be
Right.
within the whole online infrastructure of the Switch. But I mean,
well,
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
that
mean,
if you
only thing
were
with-
to have like a system-based chat, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like you said, it's not per game, but it's like on a system level where you don't even need to be in a game to be able to talk
That's
to
what I mean.
someone. I think that would make the most sense, and
But except for it, that already exists with Skype.
yes, but it's through
Like,
Skype.
what's the
It's
difference?
because you need an
But what difference does it make?
It doesn't make a difference because we've been used to it because Nintendo hasn't done it. And like I said, to me, it doesn't bother me in the sense that my computer and where I game is literally a foot and a half from each other. So for me, it doesn't matter. But think about the people that, our TV and Switch is, I mean, Switch I guess a little different because you can actually pull it up and bring it wherever. But just, my gaming system, I want to play docked on the TV, big screen, and that's down in the basement, and my computer is upstairs.
Yeah, but iPad,
Yeah,
iPod, iPhone.
Yeah, but it's just, it shouldn't have.
Everyone has.
You
one.
shouldn't have to, though. It should all be in one. Like I said, it doesn't bother me, but it doesn't make sense. Like, and it's not easier. I know you're saying it is, but it's not, because
Well, then
if
the
it
only
was,
other-
you could just pop on your Switch, and I could go, hey, let me call Perry. We call, and all of a sudden we're there, and then I'm jumping right into Mario Kart.
right.
that would be
No, I
easier.
get it. But with the Switch, with its docked, so would you have to put earphones into the Switch? Which
Well, it should
or
just,
this only be handheld.
it should have been
or it should go
radiate
into
out of the TV. It would just be like any other voice.
No, I mean, but where would the where would the headphones go?
Well, that would be if they, like, on the controller.
Okay, yeah, exactly. They just don't have that. The only thing I was gonna say is see, with the way they have it now, I think a big part of the reason they did the separate phone thing was because then they don't have to have this dedicated processing power on the Switch to do voice chat.
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean,
You know what I mean?
they've been doing voice chat since like the original Xbox. Like, I can't imagine it's so taxing on the system that it would, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that with the modular Switch, how it could have been an issue for some reason.
I just
know.
think
But-
like
And it
you
is.
know?
I mean, it is still hard to judge because we don't have it yet. Like, Nintendo Switch's like paid online service hasn't arrived. We don't know what this app looks like and how it'll function exactly. So it is hard to judge entirely. And I mean, Nintendo is making a bigger and bigger effort toward mobile in general. And who knows? Maybe this whole thing is tied into a greater mobile plan that we still don't really know about.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Yeah,
and
it's weird.
To play devil's advocate, it could also be a situation where, oh, I've got my Switch on the go, but I didn't bring my headset or something, and like, oh, I could just pop up my phone and use it that way. So I could see where there is situations where, like, it would be nice, oh, I have my phone here, like, I could just use that, and like, I don't need to bring any external crap with me with the Switch.
Exactly.
But honestly, like, they should have just thrown a little built-in mic on the Switch and just made it all through that. But I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
They say also on, you know, as well as being able to chat with friends, you can invite friends to play online and set up play appointments through the app. And I guess that's cool. What I think is the biggest and best thing about this online service is going to be the classic game selection. Now, they said you can download a compilation of classic games with added online play, such as Mario 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario were the 3 examples they gave us. Now, people were a little confused, like, is it a rotating, oh, I get to pick one game and I get to play it for a month and that's it? But Nintendo actually confirmed on Twitter that they said Nintendo Switch Online includes ongoing access to a library of classic games that you can take anywhere. So this sounds, I think Perry coined a phrase, right?
I was gonna say, should we call it Switch Flicks or Ninflix?
I think Switch Flicks.
Switch Flicks is good, I think.
Yeah.
Even though it's not Flicks, but I know what a great idea, what a cool concept. It makes sense, and Nintendo is poised in the best place to release something like this.
And I mean, this is something that people have been asking about, and you know, saying it's been such a great thing that they should do for a while. I know talk of it kind of peaked when there were some surveys going around a while ago where I think Nintendo had mentioned a possible subscription-based service where you could that was like Netflix. And if any company, if any publisher, you know, has a catalog to do it, it's Nintendo.
Right. And oh man, I don't think anyone dreamed of, I mean, I didn't think of it being online and being able to play with other people. Like,
oh yeah, no, the added
awesome.
the added online features are neat. I mean, the
yes.
one thing there though is just that that's an added bit of work on their part, right? That's an added feature that they're going to have to do, which will also slow down the rate or whatever flow of these games that will be added to the service. And also, I believe as of right now, it's only NES games confirmed. I think Nintendo said they're considering Super Nintendo games, but that's not.
Yeah, it better be.
That's not. But they're not ready to confirm anything on that front. So right now we just have Super Mario 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario to look forward to.
Well,
hopefully it won't be like, you know, next month you'll get Ice Climber, and the month after that you'll get Donkey Kong. You know.
Well, we already know this game's going to come out, and I think it's probably going to fulfill a dream of many people out there to finally have online play with Urban Champion. I'm really excited about it. You know, that's going to be like within the first 3 months of the service being available. You know, Urban Champion's coming out.
It's going to be one of the monthly, like, you know, the monthly games that comes out. Like, they're going to show it off. But hey, Alex, you mentioned how this is kind of an added work on their part for this, to add the online into these old games. And just generally speaking, I think that hopefully that Nintendo taking all their resources, all of their handheld and their home console, merging them into one for the Switch being Nintendo's sole console in the future, you know, as the 3DS, or, you know, maybe, whatever. I think that's maximizing efficiency for Nintendo to do things like this, because they're not just making, you know, like for Wii U and 3DS, they had to do separate things for each thing, you know, separate releases, probably separate
steps in the emulation,
licenses and everything to get, you know, and now it's all merged, you know, now they can start to think, well, if this is going to be the only service here, we can do something really cool with it, you know, and we got the time to and the resources to do it. So I hope that, you know, like it's a logical step in the right direction to merge them, and the Switch is just exactly what everyone's ever dreamed of. So I'm looking forward to more things like this. Hopefully they keep doing the NES, the classic Nintendo things, you know, like that. So
when I hear this, also I think, okay, so what does this mean for a virtual console? And Nintendo since clarified that this isn't like a replacement. This isn't like a basically the same thing. They're not saying that virtual console is coming, but they're just specifying that this is not the same kind of deal. So I don't know what this speaks, you know, what this means, what this might mean. I'm glad
they said that
for
sure.
Virtual console. Will we still be getting a virtual console, do you guys think? Or maybe that's a prediction thing, I don't know.
Yeah, we should hold off on that one. We're definitely going to talk about that.
Yep.
Now, just to wrap up the online, they also said discounts on select digital items and content would become available, which is nice. Probably on things we already own, because that seems to be how it always goes.
And I believe that was something that they had said from the get-go when they had first discussed the Switch
discounts.
Online, right? Something along those lines.
Yeah. And
well, let's talk about the price of it.
Yeah, very fair.
It's awesome. I think I mean, you cannot say that this isn't worth it, you know, because let's see, 1 month is $4, 3 months for $8, and then if you go the full 12 months for $20.
Clearly the best deal.
That's a dang good deal. I mean, think about it. Just online services, boom. That's not even bad for just that. Then you add in some actual discounts on games. That's cool, because that adds, you know, cash value to stuff. But then you throw in Switch Flicks, and it's like, oh man, like $20 for. I mean, you know, it's like, it's crazy.
Even if you got one game a month, let's say, that's still 12 virtual console games for $20.
Yeah.
So the one thing here, though, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but when they set the price like this, it is a great deal, but it also, I think, sets expectations accordingly. So when you hear, you know, for 3 months at $7.99, that's the price of Netflix for 1 month. You know, $20 for an entire year. I don't think you should expect, you know, 50, 100 games, streamable, a big, you know, robust library of stuff to play. At least not at the outset.
Arms, Mario Kart, Splatoon.
Right.
There you go.
And so I do think maybe as this classic game selection grows, maybe the and the library of titles gets more appealing. Who knows? Maybe that price will change in the future, or maybe there will be like a premium tier option or something like that if it does get more robust.
Maybe they limit, you know, with the $20 subscription you can download, you know, 12 you can one per month you can download, kind of thing. And then if you want the premium unlimited, it's going to cost you $40 a month, or not a month, a year.
The thing that I was just thinking about this week is you're going to have Mario Kart, you're going to have ARMS, you're going to have Splatoon. Those are 3 huge online games this year. And Mario Kart's out, and it's free, and there's no indication that it's not going to be free to play online. But, I mean, next year when it starts, are you not going to be able to play Mario Kart online without having a subscription?
Right, yep.
All right. Like, isn't that weird? Like,
well,
that's weird to me.
They did say
like a game that's out.
They did say that it would be free trial up until later in 2017, and then now we just got word that it's going to be free up until 2018 is when this online service is going to go.
That's right.
So we're, you know, they've been advertising like we're on a free trial right now. So
yeah, and you know what really stinks is that means that we won't see those dang NES games till 2018. probably.
Right.
You know?
Nope.
Ugh, that's annoying. Well, we'll see with Virtual Console, I guess, if that is a separate thing and, you know, whatever. But yeah, moving on. Let's go to some Splatoon info. It's the stuff that I haven't seen yet.
Yes, it was just a little blurb on each of the different ranked modes and just little tweaks to each one. And I think I like all of the tweaks. For Splat Zones, there's going to be like a new UI that pops up when you're, you know, by the area, and it just shows you how much of that zone is covered up in each paint. You know, so you have a little bit of an idea.
Cool.
Yeah, just a small change that, you know, just a sort of
like a little bubble, like overhead view.
Yeah,
thing?
just like a little quality of life. Like, oh, okay, like we hold like a quarter of this. Let's try and push it, kind of thing.
Cool.
The tower control. This one is actually huge in how you're going to play the game. There are checkpoints along the rail, and when you reach that checkpoint, you stop for a few seconds, and I think it's like 5 seconds. I don't know if they actually give a time, but you stop at that checkpoint, and then you continue. So this is going to add a lot of strategy, because now, say you are on the opposite team, you don't have control of the tower. Oh God, okay, they're moving the tower. Let's just go wait up by that checkpoint, because we know he's going to have to stop here for a couple seconds, and then we can sort of ambush him there. So I think it's going to add quite a bit of strategic thinking.
Interesting.
And
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, a nice wrinkle for sure.
Yeah.
And
then
you want to get this one?
The Rainmaker. Yeah, so it's going to fire a burst instead of a tornado. But what does that mean? Like, what do you mean, like a burst?
Like, you know how when you shoot the Rainmaker in Splatoon, it's like a big, tall tornado? This one's more just just like a big blast forward.
Okay.
So, that one...
So, I don't know the difference between a big blast and a big tornado, but...
Well, one isn't tall.
I guess maybe not so tall. Okay, I was going to say just not so tall.
But yeah, I mean, that one...
I didn't feel like the Rainmaker is overpowered.
Yeah, that one seems like you won't really know
Maybe
the difference till you get in there. And like you said, maybe it doesn't even really pose much of a difference.
Yeah. But some really fun info that happened today, news, is that the Splatoon Pro controller was officially announced for North America.
I just don't understand why that they would show those off for Europe and Japan, and then North America would be like, nope, we're not going to comment on that. And then just randomly, weird. And it's not even like they waited till E3 to be like, hey guys, here it is. It's just like random.
Yeah, it's just like June 6th.
Yeah, like a random tweet a week before E3.
Let's wait till Eleanor's birthday.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this next bit, FIFA 18.
Did you guys hear about that? Like, what's going on with all that?
Clue me in.
All right, so for a while, it wasn't even it was listed as, like, FIFA 18 for all the consoles, then, like, FIFA 18 Switch. And I was like, oh, why are they listed, like, differently? You know what I mean? Like, I thought we were going to get, like, a good, normal version.
The parody, yeah.
And it's going to launch on September 29th, which I believe is that's the release for FIFA 18. It was confirmed that it's going to be called FIFA 18, like all the others, but it is not going to use the Frostbite engine, which is, what the, modern consoles, PS4, Xbox One, like what that runs on. Mm-hmm. So it's likely that Switch version is going to be more akin to the, 360 PS3 version. And it already said it won't include the Journey story mode, which is, I guess, like the big single-player campaign. So it's it's going to be just like a poopy version. And it's not going to include, like I said, not on Frostbite, doesn't include the story mode. I believe I saw, this one I can confirm, but I saw someone say that there's like a mobile app, I guess. EA has some sort of mobile app for the Ultimate Teams, which is like, you can, I know for Madden you get like cards and you construct like a team with players through all, eras kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They said that, Switch one won't have the app or won't use the app, so, like, the consensus is that the Ultimate Team's going to be missing from the Switch version as well. So it's like, it's just going to be a gimped-ass version of FIFA 18. And it's like...
That really is a shame.
Yeah, and then when it doesn't sell, EA is going to say, well, no one came out, so...
Yeah, we're taking our bags and we're going home.
I mean, I feel like I understand the engine. It probably just can't run on the Switch well, so they had to use a different engine. Is this game releasing for 360 and PS3?
I'm pretty sure. I think FIFA is one of those games that, like, they literally...
it's probably still, like, on the PS2.
Yeah, it's like they release it for literally everything until, like, until the well dries up completely,
I mean, when you think about, like, how, like, long Madden goes on old consoles, like, FIFA has that worldwide appeal as well. So, yeah, those games,
I'm just thinking... I think that the content should be parity with at least those. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like, look, if you can't get it to run on the Frostbite engine, which I could honestly just see EA being like, it's going to take some work, let's not. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm just pulling that out of my own, hat, that there's no, facts about that. But come on, like, to not include the mode that you're touting, the journey, your single player campaign, like, this is... aside from multiplayer online,
I don't get
this
that.
is, why you want to play this game, and then they're just not going to include it on a version. It's like, well, that,
Well, what is it then? Yeah,
it's like I'm assuming, it's like where you...
No, I mean, what would the game be?
Gotcha.
Without
yeah,
it?
I mean, I guess it will be online, and you could play a season mode or something, but it sucks because, I have played FIFA games in the past and enjoyed them. And, if it was, like, a fully featured, gonna be, a solid game, like, they could have pulled me in, but now I'm in the boat, like, well, if it's gonna not nearly be as good, it's like you don't want to, like, give them money for being lazy. But then, like Alex said, when all of a sudden it sells like crap, then they're gonna be like, well, we're never going to put anything on the Switch again.
Okay, so, no, I just want to know, because I would never be really interested in this game. I mean, I just not really big on soccer. So, what if, imagine there wasn't FIFA 18, how we didn't know what the name was going to be. What if it was called FIFA Switch Edition?
It wouldn't change my opinion.
What'd you say? It wouldn't?
No, because it's like, well, it's still a lazy-ass gimped game, It's like, if I get...
I'm just wondering if passing off the FIFA 18 name...
No.
And then not... delivering, if that even just has some sort of effect, and maybe why it took them so long to name it that.
I just think if you're going to put a game out in a system, and, like, I get, in the past they might have gotten burnt, so they don't want to put a ton of development, costs into that version, then just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point?
If you're gonna do something, do it
exactly. Like, what's the point?
Seriously,
And like I keep saying, like Alex said, it's oh well, it sold like crap, so we're not going to do any more. Well, it's like, well, when you put crap effort into things, of course it's going to sell like crap.
Right. And then the whole thing with Mass Effect 3, which was probably a great port. I don't really know anything about that port, but it's like, why Mass Effect 3? Like,
the circumstances, under which it launched, we had the trilogies coming out for the other platforms.
Yes.
If any platform should have gotten the trilogy, it should be the one that doesn't have the other two games already.
Right.
God.
And then just blaming it on that. It's just
It's
silly.
like, what goes through some of these, like, high up minds when they, like, plan things out?
It's just a different culture. They're not living in our world,
But it's like, they want to make money.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I just think kind of comes down to what Casey said before. If you're not really going to put in the effort, why even just don't even bother?
Right.
And the thing is, like, if they didn't, like, if EA was like, we're not bringing FIFA, if back for the Wii U, they're like, well, we didn't do the first few Mass Effects, we're not going to make the effort to bring 3 or the trilogy, that's fine. I played them on 360, so it's no big deal. Like, cut your,
Right.
don't bother. That's fine. So, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I don't really mind that EA's not putting in a major effort, because I am not particularly interested in FIFA or Madden,
Right.
for that matter, on Nintendo platforms.
Right, but if you
but if
were,
exactly,
right,
if you
I mean,
were,
like,
but
you would definitely want
absolutely.
it to be the legit
But
thing.
if you were, though, you also probably would already have an Xbox One or PS4.
yeah,
for
but,
me,
but that's what differentiates it on the Switch.
yeah,
I mean,
I've
you can't take your Xbox One on the bus.
I've played Madden every single year. I've bought Madden except for this last year, and it's sort of because I just have a ton of games to play, and like, I mean, Madden is sort of a known quantity. But
Does it have anything to do with the cover athlete?
oh no, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it was Gronk, right?
Last year it was Gronk, and this year it's Brady. So.
Yeah. Well, see, honestly, I hate the Patriots more than anything. But it's like I
He does. He's like legitimately like depressed when they
I can
win.
be okay with Gronk because he's just like a big goon who likes to have fun. But my God, do I hate Tom Brady? That being said, like it.
I remember you saying that walking down the streets of
Oh
Boston.
yeah, I always rock my jet gear.
It's like
in when we go to PAX East to make sure to. Although really, how bad we are, I have no right to. I should probably just put all that crap in the closet. We just cut like two of our better. Well, one's older, but like one of our better players, we just like randomly cut today. It's like, oh, okay, cool. We're gonna be really bad. But if they had planned on releasing like a legit Madden, like I wouldn't even care that. Like, of course, it's not gonna look as nice as the other ones, but that'd be a great game to like.
Like the engine
with
thing
you,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
But
Yes, exactly. So I know it's just this constant thing, right? Of like, yes, we're gonna make an effort, but okay, now that we've committed to this, we're seeing how hard it is to do. We're kind of sheepish. We want to back out. I wonder if a bunch of these decisions for FIFA was before the Switch was released, and before it was as big of success as it is now. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
like,
if
I wonder
the quality,
if it keeps going.
the quality of the game, if it hinged on how well the Switch came out of the bat, wait till FIFA 19.
Yeah.
But that being said, let's get off the EA hate train here, and let's get onto the Pokemon hate train.
I don't. Yeah. So apparently people weren't impressed with today's random thing, and I don't know. I thought it was impressive.
I think it was middling.
I don't know. I thought it was better. It's more than I expected. I thought it was just going to be stars.
I'm just mad at myself because this. I should have seen this coming. It makes so much sense. It's so in line with what they've even done in the past. When you look at the end of the DS's life cycle, and I mean 3DS was here, and everyone is waiting, thinking that the follow-up to Black and White is going to be on 3DS. And we get an announcement: Black 2,
right.
White 2 for DS, and everyone's like,
"We're waiting for Gray.
What is going on?" And so naturally, we get two more. I don't believe they're direct sequels. I believe they're like alternate takes on Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
So and as far as
Ultra Sun.
Yeah, you know what it is that, like you said, that makes sense, and I get why they want to do it. The install base on 3DS is obviously way bigger than Switch, but it's they need to realize Pokemon, like, there are not many games that are legitimate system sellers, but Pokemon is one of those games. It is one of those games. I'm trying to think, if they released Stars, right, which was essentially, let's say, looked exactly like the 3DS game, but it was on Switch, I think that would push systems and whatnot, of course. But if they released like a brand new like 3D Pokemon, they would not be able to keep any Switches on the shelf ever.
Okay, so I believe it was Chris Kohler that tweeted this today about this exact same thing, where Nintendo is already in a position that they are going to sell every single Switch that they make this fiscal year. And there's no reason to release a Pokemon now, because they can release it next year and then make just as big, hit when it's at critical mass, when the install base, then they do the Pokemon for that boost.
And honestly, doesn't the 2DS XL make a whole lot more sense now?
Yeah.
And also, I think it's important not to forget the Eurogamer rumor that did pop up. That's where all this Stars talk was coming from the beginning. And we know Eurogamer, at least some of their sources, are pretty legit. That's where we got a lot of the early information on Switch that proved to be true. So whether or not these are the same sources or different sources, it sounded like what they had heard was that Game Freak was basically, created like Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon pushed the 3DS to their limits, and they have a higher fidelity, basically, version of that. It sounds like, which is Stars, and so I'm wondering if that is what we're gonna get maybe next year for Switch. Basically but it just, I feel like a third version after we're getting Ultra Moon and Sun is just like overkill for the Alola region. But I don't know. I just it's hard to throw that whole Switch thing completely out of the water when there was even like they discovered stuff in the. We still have a lot to learn about Ultra Moon and Sun, but like there was even stuff about like smaller renders of the Pokemon that would follow behind you, like back in like Gold and Silver, that were believed to be possibly included in like an enhanced Switch version. Maybe that's something that's going to appear in Sun and Moon, this new version of Sun and Moon. But yeah, I feel like there's still so much evidence for an Alola based game for Switch that I don't know, but that kind of, I hate to jump around too much. It seems like we're kind of on the Sun and Moon stuff, but there was that apparent clerical error, listing error.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that was it listed the Switch version to be announced or to be determined. And then all of a sudden people are going like, wait.
Yeah.
And
it could still be coming.
I know Nintendo would absolutely love to sell us Sun and Moon 5 times, if they could. And you know what? They probably could.
They've already done that to me.
Yeah, it's like they've people will buy it, but yeah, like you said, I think that makes sense. Whether it is, like you said, a Stars version sometime next year, or hopefully like I guess, what are we up to? Is this the 7th generation? The next one will be 8, I think.
Right.
Something like that.
I do think we'd get the Diamond and Pearl, like the Gen 4 remake stuff, before a proper 8th generation.
That would be so nice on the Switch in like full. Like, imagine they just blew it up and went full 3D. Like,
see, yeah, okay. I would love for them to make a Switch, a brand new engine that looked great on Switch. I don't like the 3DS Pokemon look. I would love it if it was maybe a little more, little shinier, smoother looking. And then I could see them starting over again, doing Red and Blue, like doing another remake.
The very interesting thing to that is, which would actually be really cool, is if Pokemon Stars was actually that remake, because there's been a lot of just theories with that, if it was to sort of continue Lily's story, because with Sun and Moon, Lily's story kind of continues back in the Kanto. And so perhaps it is sort of like a, reboot in a way, experiencing everything through Lily with Stars, which would be like maybe like a full-blown way to kind of reboot the franchise on Switch. I think that would be really cool.
That would be amazing.
That'd be interesting.
I was just gonna say, I'm sort of like I'd say a casual Pokemon fan in the sense like, you know, I buy every couple of generations, I feel like. So I would be hook, line, and sinker because obviously, like, I grew up with, you know, blue and red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it like the way you're saying, Alex. I could see it even kind of like a Link Between Worlds type thing, where they go back. It's a different game, but it's in Kanto and it's in familiar places, but brand new engine, looks way different. Same Pokemon, even some new Pokemon, new ideas, new hook. I don't know.
Maybe
That would be
the
cool.
Pokemon company says, you know what, you're just gonna get Pokken Tournament. You're gonna get a new Pokemon Rumble game, maybe another Pokemon Stadium on Switch, and we're gonna move the entire mainline series to mobile.
Stop.
And to buy more buy more Pokeballs,
No way Nintendo's gonna let
you need
that
to
happen.
put in your credit card number, and then you can buy microtransactions.
They already have that game, but I mean, there's no way Nintendo would throw away their system seller.
But
sure, you can move it to someone else's platform.
we've got some other news that came out of the Direct today. Somewhat, I guess. I feel like a little bit of a surprise, but I'd heard some rumblings of a possible Pokken Tournament port.
Yeah, this seemed almost like a foregone conclusion amongst the community. I think Pokken Tournament did pretty well in Japan, given the limited install base of Wii U,
and they also
I think
had
it was pretty popular in the arcades as well. Yeah. And to be clear, I don't actually think mainline games are going to mobile. Just so you guys like.
No,
Everyone's like, man, this guy Alex, what an idiot.
Hunt me down on Twitter and
unsubscribe.
They'd be like a campaign to get you fired from IGN. This guy doesn't know anything.
So did you guys play any Pokken Tournament?
I did, yes.
I only played the demo a little, and I liked it, but it just wasn't like...
You know what it was?
Right.
It was one of those situations on Amazon where it was something like apply for like a store, like an Amazon Prime card or something and get like $30 gift card. And I was like, well, you know what? Like, I'll do that, and I'll just like get 5% back every time I purchase something on Amazon, and I get this gift card. So I was like, let me do this, and it's really fun. It's surprisingly enough, my girlfriend, she's not really a gamer much at all, but she loves Pokken Tournament. So when I relayed the news that a new quote unquote a new Pokken Tournament, but that it was coming out for Switch, she was excited.
Yeah, and the Joy-Con play is really cool.
And
I love that idea, and they kind of kept going and going and going with that concept, didn't they?
I thought for a second, I was like, oh man, like, is the whole Direct about Pokken?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the young Asian boy. He goes and he plays on the bus.
Yeah.
Then he goes and meets a guy who loves Pokemon in the middle of the jungle. And then he's riding on a canoe, and he happens to meet someone who loves Pokemon.
That made me want to move to Japan so bad.
Oh, I know, it's so great.
It is gorgeous.
But we saw what?
Yeah.
I was just going to jump in and quickly comment on the release date, with it coming September 22nd, and just that that might be a signal about another fighting game franchise that I think, a Wii U port potentially coming to Switch. And with Pokken Tournament coming this September, maybe Nintendo's other fighting game franchise could be reserved for next year.
Urban Champion.
Yep, Urban Champion DX HD.
Urban Champion.
It's no
Deluxe.
Star Fox Assault HD though.
Yeah, that's a good point, Alex. I could see Smash. You're right. I mean, competing with that, I guess, unless Smash, I could see if it's September and then Smash is early December.
Well,
maybe.
I don't want to.
There's no way.
I don't want to tip my
into our
hand.
predictions too much.
Yeah, I don't want to tip my hand, but I might be talking about that a little later.
Okay.
But yeah, Pokken Tournament is going to feature 5 new fighters, 4 of which were released on the arcade in Japan, and then 1 new fighter. It's the from Sun and Moon, I believe, I forget its name, the completely evolved owl, right? Owlet,
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
Decidueye?
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, yep, that's the one. So we got that, 3v3 team battles, online ranked play, friend-only group matches. So seems like it's a decent amount of content, and
Yeah,
especially when you consider the
that's
roster
cool.
for the American release, you know, I guess, or for the Wii U, I should say, was pretty small. So 5 new fighters is pretty significant. You know, that's like, I'm pretty sure like almost a third extra, you know what I mean? Or like 30% more
Right.
fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, and one of the cool features that is lacking in Switch games so far is like local Switch gameplay. Like you can play with another Switch wirelessly, you know, instead of just Joy-Con. Like I kind of missed that, like with some stuff.
Yeah,
so.
that'll be nice.
But yeah, that's cool.
Now, wrapping out the Direct and wrapping out this big old news section we got into here, is the release of Gold and Silver for the 3DS Virtual Console. And that actually comes out the same day, which is September 22nd, as Pokken.
Yep.
Okay. Prediction, but not for E3 or anything. Just they are going to release a Gold and Silver new 2DS XL.
I don't.
For that when it comes out.
I don't think so, but it.
They did it. They did it for Fire Red, and they did it for Red and Blue.
Yeah, but Red
on the new
last
3DS.
Year, yeah, I do
maybe
think,
faceplates.
I do think I think they're done with the older new 3DS line, and they're really just only going to push. I really think they're just going to push the 2DS XL. So I don't think we're even going to see faceplates or even them return to that. I do think that last year was a special case because it was the 20th anniversary of the franchise.
That's true. That's true.
So we might. Who knows? If we do see something, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like. They basically just took like the stencil, like a white stenciling model over the case, kind of like we saw with like wasn't there like a Sun and Moon special edition 3DS XL or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
We might see something like that, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm thinking, but couldn't you totally see it like the gold on one side with Ho-Oh, and then the Lugia with the silver on the other side, and then it comes bundled with those two games on it already. I could just see it.
I absolutely.
I'm sticking with my prediction.
I think that you got a red and blue one because those games are truly iconic. Where I'm not saying that Gold and Silver are bad or not, highly regarded in the Pokemon world, but like they're no red and blue,
It's interesting because I think most Pokemon fans like. A large portion of them anyway. I don't want to speak for the whole fan base, but hold Gold and Silver in like possibly the highest esteem, especially Heart Gold and Soul
that's
Silver.
Why I was thinking.
But yeah, I don't know. Crystal's not part of it, which is a little bit interesting because Yellow was part of that trio. I believe they all three of them came at the same time, right?
Yep.
They sure did. Yep. So. Maybe a separate
Maybe they're
release,
saving that crystal for the Switch Virtual Console.
For 2018? Jeez. Yeah. I mean, that's my next point, right? These aren't on Switch. That stinks. That really stinks.
But, Switch would need a Virtual Console for them to come, I guess.
Exactly.
Coming in 2018.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think that's going to wrap it up for the old news talk here. I think let's take a quick little breather, and then we can get the engines revving here, right?
Start the hype train's engine.
And we're back, and the engines are still warming up, so we're going to read a couple more Twitter responses of each person who wrote in for the contest with their predictions. And why don't you start us off, Perry?
Yes. First, we got Rob Ford, who he wrote in a Twitter response, very optimistic. It just, it was very, what am I looking for? Inspirational.
A ray of sunshine.
A ray of sunshine. Yes. And he simply said, Metroid will disappoint.
I was gonna say that sounds like a show title to me. A Ray of Sunshine.
I think you know what? I think there might be something to that because I think Metroid will disappoint by its absence from E3 entirely. But we can talk about that some more.
Well, technically, that it showed up last year and it disappointed. Not me, but a lot of other people. But Alex, next one. What's the next one?
Sure. Lapa Bappa writes, prediction. More detailed look at third-party games as well as new Animal Crossing game.
Ooh, whenever I think of Nintendo E3, the last thing I think of is third-party games.
Yeah, those aren't really too much of a thing generally.
I mean, we got Devil's Third, but that was like a first-party game almost.
Let's not talk about that one.
You know what's funny to me? Honestly, I do want to play Devil's Third, and it kind of always appealed to me.
Well,
and it still does.
But now they turned off the online, so I feel like that was like a big chunk of what actually made it decent.
I know, it's so weird. It's so weird, but I guess it's because there literally was no one playing.
Dude, I actually saw on Reddit people talking about it. I guess there was actually a lot of really fun online play, and I guess it was just like a lot of craziness and like sort of things like that shouldn't have happened. Like you just go like kill people and steal their stuff whenever that you want. But like I guess that was what was the appeal. Like I guess it was like a bunch of big groups of like clans, if you will, and I from what I heard, the online was actually pretty fun if you got into it.
Remember that Lost Reavers? What the heck was that? Isn't that weird? That free-to-play Wii U game that... Man, that's weird. Anyway, sorry, I really derailed. But yeah, more detailed look at third-party games. I think that's a good thing. I hope, like with Ubisoft, stuff like that, they're usually good, like Assassin's Creed. Hopefully something like that would be cool to come out.
Yeah,
anything,
Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I know, doesn't that stink? Like, we're kind of out of the realm of the 360. I mean, unless, the Assassin's Creeds don't come out on PS3, Xbox 360 more, right? So
I think one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if Syndicate came out, but I know they're sort of taking a little breather from it. But yeah, I don't want a 360 version.
A collection? I mean, a port would be really cool. I think like a collection of Assassin's Creed games for Switch. That's appealing to me. Handheld, I think that'd be cool. You know what I mean? Like if there's like 3 and 4, I'm just saying they could do that, but I don't know. Whatever.
They could.
But yeah. And then the new Animal Crossing game.
I think we're gonna get in
about that.
Yeah, as I said, I think we're gonna get into the weeds on that too.
Yep. So, Casey, what's the last person on Twitter?
Aaron White wrote in and said, apart from the known Odyssey, Splatoon, and ARMS, and the likely Smash, I feel the best prediction would be something crazy. Kirby Air Ride 2.
Ooh.
Now here's a spoiler. I've never played Kirby's Air Ride. But I know it's held in high regard.
Yeah, it's a Sakurai game, right? Smash Bros. Guy. I remember playing it. I remember my friends loving it. And me kind of going over with them being experienced, and I remember just not really getting it, but I remember liking it. It's something that I just didn't play enough to get a grasp on, which is exactly what Smash Bros has been my whole life up until the 3DS one. It's just something I didn't play, and so I didn't really understand the greatness of it. So, have you played it, Alex? Kirby Air Ride?
If I did, it was a friend's copy, and it didn't leave an impact because I don't really have strong memories of it. And I do think that Kirby, a potential sequel, is, as cool as it might sound, I think kind of falls in sort of that wave race category. We just got Mario Kart. I think Nintendo is going to lean heavily on supporting that, probably with some DLC. So we'll probably, see more of that rather than. I mean, it is. They are. Is this the? I mean, they're kind of pushing Kirby a bit though, with some stuff. They've teased some stuff. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking. I could see Kirby being in Mario Kart, in a new Mario Kart or something. And I'm thinking maybe a stage has
Kirby's Dream Land, like a
Kirby
Dream
Air
Land.
Ride
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, and maybe there's like a star cart or something, kind of,
the cutest
similar
cart
sort
in
of thing
town.
is like, they kind of worked in F-Zero, so they'll.
Yeah,
maybe
I
work
think
in
Kirby
that
is
way.
a natural. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Okay.
Now, enough with these Twitter predictions. It's time to get into our own predictions, and how this is going to work is we have 3 tiers. We got bronze, silver, gold, and bronze will be worth 1 point each, silver 2, and gold 3. And for the bronze, they're going to be sort of things that we'd all probably talk about anyway. For instance, like Mario Odyssey's release date, things like that, where like it's sort of a known quantity, and then
These
just
are
sort of
set
very
questions.
yes or no, or very right or wrong. The silver, there are a couple of them. They get more into like the bigger yes or no's, and then the gold is going to be 5 predictions from each of us that are just whatever we want. So
Wow.
those will be more open-ended and probably be a little funner, and those will be worth the most points. So what we're going to do is go through down the list, and I'm going to record each person's response, and then next week we're going to tally them up, see who wins. Alex won't be with us next week on the show. That is, he'll still be alive and well, and
Well, that's not,
knock on
nothing
wood.
certain.
Knock on wood.
Next week. we're
Now
like,
the
Alex
loser.
died in a
Yeah.
train wreck.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, it's not.
Now
gonna
the loser of me and Perry, Alex has gracefully backed out of this potential bet here. Now the loser of Perry and I, whoever has the least amount of points, will have to purchase and play Corey in the House for the Nintendo DS, and then come on the show and talk about it.
I think it's a wonderful punishment.
The infamous Corey in the House.
That's right.
I'm looking at the
It
box
sounds
art.
good.
It's just beautiful. Actually, let's see. I dropped it into the to the dock so you guys can see it.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Excellent.
Now let's get into it, and we're going to start off with, when does Mario Odyssey release? What is the date? And why don't we start out with Alex?
Okay. I think Mario Odyssey is going to release on November 17th, the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Alrighty, it's a solid bet.
Yeah, I mean it's because it's the Friday before Thanksgiving, and kind of just getting the game right out there before that Black Friday rush. So.
All right, Perry, what's your go?
See, this is the thing.
They can
where-
overlap. You guys can have the same answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I'm going with November 17th. I think that's the safest.
Yeah, I'm going to go November 10th.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
So
I was even thinking the 3rd too.
Yeah.
Might even be.
I all of a sudden it's not even going to be in November. No, I think honestly the safest bet I feel like is that month or that week before, but hopeful thinking maybe I could pick up some points on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one I think is going to have a little more variation in our assumptions here, and that is, when is the launch date of Xenoblade 2? Now
All right.
note, Nintendo has doubled down on the 2017 date, so we could take that as you will. I don't know if that's going to influence your guys' your guess here, but I guess just to keep the trends nice and easy for me to log down what's up. Alex, why don't you start again?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't mind me going first, I don't want to steal your dates or anything.
No.
Nope, by all means.
Okay. I am going to say December 8th.
December 8th, alrighty. Perry?
I'm gonna say April 6th.
Ooh, so you're thinking a hefty delay. That's 2018 right there.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, and mine's December 8th, 2018.
No,
Yeah.
I know, no. Yeah, I'm thinking it's actually. I think it's going to get delayed, but I don't think it's going to get delayed so much. I think it's going to be February. See, I'm stuck between the 9th and the 16th. I think I'm going to go 16. So 2/16/18. So so Alex, you don't think a delay's coming at all?
So initially, and I think I even made a prediction. Oh no, yeah, I did. I made a predictions video saying I think it's going to be delayed. But you know what? I'm feeling optimistic tonight. So I'm going
Nice.
December 8th.
So you're hoping Nintendo's not lying to us.
I'm hoping Nintendo's not lying to us. They've never ever lied to us before. So.
Oh man, yeah. See, this is one of my situations where I really hope it isn't delayed, but it just seems like it can't come out in 2017. I don't know. It just seems.
I know. Yeah.
I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope Alex is right, but time will tell. We will know in a week. Now.
Yeah, or maybe E3 will come and go, and we won't hear anything about this.
They just don't even. Yeah. They're
Exactly.
Quite possible.
Totally possible.
Although and maybe that would be that'll be our answer. It's not coming this
Yeah.
year. So.
Then
I think it's safe to say if we don't hear about it next week, then it's probably not coming this year.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
this is a thing that
Our third question.
guaranteed would be talked about January 13th, 2017, and I was completely wrong. And that is, will the virtual console be talked about? I was like, there's no way they can talk about the Switch and not mention the virtual console, and I'll be damned, they sure did. Now it's freaking June. Are we going to hear about it? Alex?
Not a peep.
No peep.
We're not going to hear anything about virtual console at E3 from Nintendo.
That is my my answer.
Yeah. I think in Nintendo's response, kind of clarifying that the games selection wasn't part of virtual console. I believe they also had said something along the lines of, our plans for, that are still undecided. So if that's true and they're still kind of working out the details for that, then they certainly won't be talking about it next week.
Yeah,
What do you think, Case?
I don't think so either. It seemed that, honestly, virtual console seems like it'd be a great Nintendo Direct on its own, not around E3. Come in, be like, hey, we're going to launch the service in a month or a couple weeks, or, it'd be great if they're like, hey, it's coming out this week, whenever that Direct happens to be, and sort of give us a little bit of a lineup. It just doesn't seem like E3 right now is going to be the time to talk about it. And then especially how we're talking about online not coming to 2018, does that mean virtual consoles not coming till 2018? And if that's the case, then there's no way they could talk about it now.
Right. Now, there is the idea that it could be Nintendo Classics, it could be GameCube Classics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get rid of
by the virtual console name. They could maybe say something like that, but virtual console as we know it, no way it's going to be talked about.
Imagine if instead of doing Super Nintendo Mini, that's what the rumor is, they did a GameCube Mini just this year, just to mess with us. It was a tiny little cube instead.
That'd be amazing, though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Alex,
but anyways, what's the next prediction here?
Moving on. Now this one's going to be a little interesting. How many? Excuse me, skipped one. How many times by name will the 3DS and the 3DS family of consoles be mentioned during the spotlight?
So this is
during the half-hour presentation.
And real quick, I want to say Price is Right rules. So you closest to, but not over.
Right. Well, I am afraid to go over, and Nintendo, in their little description, said, I think I actually have it here. I thought I did. Maybe I don't. But in their description for their plans for the Spotlight, it said they're going to be talking about Super Mario Odyssey and other Switch games. No mention of DS, you know, the 3DS family of systems. So I'm going to take Nintendo at their word, and I'm going to say 0.
Alrighty. It's a safe bet.
Yep.
Unless if Perry swoops in here. Are you?
He's going to say -1.
Yeah.
Well, just to be Alex, I'm gonna say 1. No, actually, I think my gut instinct was 5.
Damn.
You're gonna hear 3DS 5 times.
So that's your final answer?
Whether that's Reggie, final. Reggie's like the 3DS, and then Bill's like the 3DS, and he's like the 3DS. You know.
That would be 3. That would be 3 times.
The 3DS, the 3DS, and that's it.
See now,
each one with a different camera angle, and zooming in.
just super zoom ins on their face, like.
Well, not zooms, but pans.
Now,
you don't zoom.
My thought is, I don't think they're really going to talk about any 3DS games during that spotlight. I think we will hear about some during the Treehouse, but
hold on.
But
okay, yeah.
I think there will be mention of 3DS, and my thought process is they're going to break down Hyrule Warriors.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Not Hyrule Warriors.
That's what I was
Fire
going to say.
Emblem Warriors, and that's coming out for the 3DS. So I think it's definitely going to be 1 or 2, and just because we are playing Price is Right rules, I'm going to go 1. But they might mention, like, my thought process, they might mention it twice, like, and check out this game that's coming out to the Switch and the 3DS. And then, like, at the end, to be like, and remember, that's coming out for the Switch and 3DS. But I'm going to stick with 1. And that's going to be when they mention Fire Emblem Warriors.
Okay.
Okay, so this next one, I think that, Casey, you should go before me, since it always being the last kind of gives you the edge on the Price is Right.
Are you
rules.
worried you're going to end up playing Corey in the House?
Yes. That literally just went through my mind, and like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to buy that stupid game.
All right, we can do
I don't
that.
wanna do that.
We can do that.
Okay. Alex can still go first. So, yeah, why don't you say
so,
Case.
How many new games will be announced during the spotlight? Indies excluded.
Okay, but this is also including like third-party AAA stuff.
Anything during the spotlight. Yep. So if they're like, hey, like
Rabbids or
I think Rabbids should count. Should count.
Rabbids will count.
It's not officially.
Yeah. That can count. But anything like if they mention Skyrim, like we already know about Skyrim, so that's not really anything new. But if
they announce like Fallout 4 for it or something like that,
right? Yep, that would be new.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, new games, not indies. We are playing Price is Right rules, right?
Price is Right rules.
Okay. I really think Super Mario Odyssey is going to be a large focus of this spotlight. So I think we're probably only going to get, as far as big game announcements, I think we're only going to get 3.
3. Well, they don't necessarily have to be big game announcements.
Okay.
Like, they can be smaller games, but, like, say, I'm trying to think, say Capcom was like, hey, we're going to bring, the Mega Man Collection, Legacy Collection 2 over.
Gotcha.
Like, that would still count, I think, towards a new game.
Okay. Well, you know what? I said 3.
Game?
Well, we'll roll with 3. I'm just,
I think 3 is a great answer.
Yeah, honestly, that's the number I was sort of hovering around, and I'm trying to, like, piece together in my mind exactly what games I think are going to be announced that we don't know about yet.
Right.
So I'm going to go 5.
I'm going with 2.
2. Get out of here. 2.
That's easy. 200 is twice 100.
Not 200. Just 2.
2? What do you mean you only opened 2?
I don't care very much for chocolate.
Well, I can't figure out just 2, so let's pretend you opened 200. Now,
no, man, dude.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Is stacked.
I know. Honestly,
2? I can't do 2.
But if you're playing Price is Right, you should have said 1.
Yeah,
that's true.
What a dummy.
That's true, but I'm not.
Or just 0.
No, I had that same thought process before. Like in my head, I'm swirling around. I'm like, well, there's obviously Metroid. Metroid, duh. You know, Animal Crossing, this, that. And I'm like, they can't talk about all these freaking games. Like I need to cool on the jets here, you know. But then all of a sudden, like,
nope, you said 5.
No, I'm gonna stick 5 because I don't think they're all gonna be AAA experiences. But I think
I would love to. There's no way any E3 in the past has had 5 games.
Yeah, I bet you it has.
I don't think so,
dude. Because think of even I'm just trying to think of like smaller, like a smaller Kirby games coming out or something to that extent, you know, or like Tank Troopers. Like that's a new game and that's not an indie.
I know, but that's not something they do at E3. They do that after.
Well, we shall see. We shall see.
We shall. Oh, we shall.
All right. Will we see Retro's new game? And I have a feeling ours are all probably going to be pretty similar in this. But Alex, you can kick us off.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I think. I mean, he already wrote my answer for me, so I guess I have to say yes.
I'll edit it, but I have a feeling those are going to be our answers.
So I'm trying to think of, like, I did say 3, and I'm kind of running through my mind what I am thinking those 3 could be, and you know what? I'm gonna say no because you wrote yes.
All right.
I'm actually saying no also.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, my plan is coming to fruition, boys. Because I'm going yes. It is happening. We are going to find out. It's going to happen. And it's going to be glorious.
I don't think so.
It's cool. And it's so funny because I'm totally going against, like, predictions that I made a few weeks back. I don't stick to anything I say. I am so fickle.
You're just hedging your bets. So then that way, if you're right here, it's like, well, you're wrong there. You're like, well, I was right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, are we going to see some new hardware? And, for instance, that you know, Joy-Cons or Pro controllers, you know, different colors, that would, you know, equate to new hardware.
Amiibo don't count?
I'm going to say no on that, yeah. This is more Joy-Cons.
Let's say no.
We could even add...
Joy-Con, Pro controller.
We can... amend the question here. We could do new hardware / bundles. I don't know if we want to, or do.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So either new hardware, new controllers, or some sort of bundle shown off at the Direct.
Now, if you're saying like a new Joy-Con, does that mean it has to have like a different button configuration, or does that mean it could be like
colors?
It could be like Mario
even?
Odyssey colored, you know, cons.
Or it could be the Perry edition with the D-pad.
I mean, I would love that. I don't think we're probably going to get that until the Virtual Console maybe comes out, or the Switch, whatever it's called, Games Collection. But I'm trying to think. Yes, I think Nintendo's going to have some kind of hardware thing. They love their peripheral-y stuff, so.
I'm saying yes too. I don't mean to piggyback off everything Alex says, but.
Yeah, you're just
I haven't.
You're just a big phony.
Well, I do have an uncle that works for Nintendo. So.
Yeah, it's a safe bet. I think
just go with everything Alex says.
I think yes as well. I think there's going to be like a Mario bundle or of some sort, you know. So, and then that would probably, you know, include some sort of special colored Joy-Cons, maybe like blue and red.
I don't know. You mean like a hardware, like a console bundle with Mario?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that. But I mean, and the only reason I don't think that is just because I feel like that would be a game that they could get people to pay for.
Well, I think it'll be one of those classic bundles that don't save you any money.
Okay.
And it's just like, you know what I mean?
It'd be $350.
Right, yeah, like it's like full price and it comes with a download code.
$359.99.
Okay, that makes sense. I absolutely can see that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now this next one,
red Joy-Cons
will Mario Cross Rabbids be at Nintendo Spotlight or Ubisoft's conference? Now Ubisoft goes first, and I'm like, I'll answer this one first so you guys sort of have an idea what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be shown off at Ubisoft's conference, and then just like a quick little highlight at Nintendo's, you know. But so pretty much, the question should be: do you think it's going to be fully shown off at Ubisoft?
How about like debut? Like debut. Where will it debut?
Yeah,
Is that kind of what you mean more? Like where will it be?
Fully shown off. Yeah.
Okay.
Like will it be more like a little blip at Ubisoft's and fully blown out at Nintendo's, or vice versa?
That's a tricky one.
You know what I think? I'll actually answer, since you did a good job at explaining that. I think Ubisoft's press conference is going to come and go, and there's not going to be a mention of it, and it's all going to be saved for Nintendo's.
All right, so you think Nintendo's. I've got Ubisoft's, and then Perry?
Man, that's a tricky one. You know what? Because this has happened before. This totally has happened with the Zombie U. That was announced at Ubisoft's press conference before Nintendo.
Oh, you know what? Oh, sorry. No, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
No, that's it. So I'm gonna say Ubisoft.
All right.
And I'm just thinking right now, and those like leaked slides and stuff, that was all like internal Ubisoft stuff talking about their E3 presentation. So I don't think it is Nintendo's presentation.
So you switching over?
I don't know if you guys even want to allow that.
No, that's fine. That's
it.
fine.
We can keep.
Since it's on the Switch, you can switch.
But I mean, well, okay. Either way, you know,
No, that's fine.
keep it as Nintendo, just so that we're different. It'll keep it interesting
For parity's sake.
yeah.
He wants to pick up a point.
Okay.
All right, that was the end of our 1-point bronze questions. Now we're going to move on to some heavy hitters.
On to the silver.
Will
Hi-ho, silver.
Metroid be announced? Let's go. Now we're getting into the hype train here. We going to see it, Alex? Are we going to see, finally, Metroid Prime? Or a 2D Metroid? Any form of Metroid announced.
Even Federation Force 2 for 3DS?
That'll work. That would be a Metroid game.
I don't think we're going to hear about Metroid at all.
Alrighty. I guess
Alex.
I'll go again just to give Perry a little
go.
here. I've been on the Metroid is coming train, and I am going to continue it. And it sort of coincides with what is Retro's. Will Retro show its new game? It's happening, guys. It's finally happening. You heard it here first. Let's go.
No. Oh, I'm so glad you said that, because now we have a shot at you playing Corey's in the house or whatever. No, there's not going to be a new Metroid game, for sure.
And you know what? I don't think that Retro will ever touch the Metroid franchise again.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I've got tweets
I think
back and
Retro's
forth with Retro. Did you see that? On a long time ago, it's actually sort of I've gotten people liking it recently.
Yeah.
They like posted a picture of like a barbecue, and
not that again.
Yeah,
that again.
Dude, that's it, man. That's the proof is in the pudding right there. I'm telling you.
The proof of what, Casey?
That Metroid is coming out, and it's
No.
Why?
No.
Why is the barbecue the proof?
Because it's prime rib, baby.
It's not, though. It wasn't prime rib.
It was a rump roast, but that's okay. No, I'm telling you guys.
It's not.
I'm telling
They're
you.
done with Metroid.
Uh-uh.
It's not happening.
You guys are
You're
gonna.
giving me really good ideas for the episode.
The next Metroid we're going to
Thank you.
see is going to be... I really think if we see another Metroid come back, it's going to be like a fresh take, maybe a new 2D side-scrolling one or something.
The proof is in the barbecue.
Yeah, the proof is in the barbecue.
The proof is in the rump roast.
Episode 37.
Now
There you go.
let me a caveat before we move on to this next one. It's not going to come out till 2018. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination it's going to come out this year. And I'm thinking it's going to be like a 30-second, like ominous, like, oh wow, look at all this crazy cool surrounding, and then maybe it'll like pan up, show like those badass boots, and show up Metroid, Samus, boom, there it is, and then it'll just be like 2018.
You know, and I do want to clarify, nothing would delight me more than Metroid Prime 4 with beautiful visuals, or even a full-blown remake of the original Metroid Prime that is easily one of my favorite GameCube games.
Yeah,
I
like
love
a
that so
reboot
much.
almost.
Yeah, I would love like a full HD remake of that game.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And if that doesn't ever happen, I would love to see like Grezzo or Tantalus or one of these, really good port developers take the trilogy and give it that full HD treatment and make it all. I mean, they could do like a Joy-Con motion-y thing, but I would love to just have it standard controls for all three. So that's cool. I love the Metroid Prime franchise, so I hope that comes through.
Metroid Prime is top 5 game for me. So.
Alrighty, now continuing on with these great silver questions. Excuse me. Will a new Animal Crossing game be announced, and that has no mobile business? If they revealed a mobile game or whatever, excluding. We're talking Switch game.
Yep.
Yes?
I think... This one is tough because I do think that Nintendo is going to announce a Switch Animal Crossing game this year. I would be shocked if we don't hear about a Switch Animal Crossing game. I know that they do like to do Animal Crossing Directs as well, so I would not be surprised if they reserved it for its own dedicated Direct. But you know what? I think that one of the 3 games that's going to be announced during the Spotlight is going to be an Animal Crossing game.
Yep. Yeah, I think that, just to piggyback off that, I also think, yes, it will be announced. And it's funny you mentioned not the mobile, but I think it will definitely talk about...
Yeah,
this isn't
tying
part
in.
of my thing, but I think that mobile is going to be a part.
Oh, absolutely.
Not a huge part of it, but it will definitely tie into the game.
And I think, when they first mentioned the Animal Crossing mobile game, this was back when I think maybe they were suggesting it was going to tie into maybe a 3DS game or something like that. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, I mean, even just looking last year I know Nintendo proper didn't develop Pokemon Go, but just and Nintendo in the past has said we're going to use our mobile games to drum up interest in our console games. So with Animal Crossing, and it sounds like it's just coming sometime in like I think fall of this year, so it would make sense that the Switch game would sometime follow that. So it certainly won't be coming like in the summertime. But who knows? Maybe we'll get it at the very end of the year or early next year.
Man, I would love it. I know, that's why it's kind of hard to think of new games being announced now, because the year is already like planned.
Right.
Splatoon, Xenoblade 2, and Mario. It's like that's a packed schedule for Nintendo. I'd say.
If you look at, someone posted it before. It goes, okay, so you've got ARMS in June, you've got Splatoon in July, August. You don't have anything yet, but that could easily be like Rabbids Cross Mario. Yeah. September we have Pokken Tournament.
Right.
October we don't have anything yet. I don't think of consequence. It wouldn't surprise me if Skyrim came out in October. Then you've got November.
And it also wouldn't surprise me even if like Mario Odyssey snuck in maybe at the end of October or something. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
That could happen. But like, say then you go Odyssey November, and then you go Xenoblade if they're right. December, and that's one monster game after another for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, this could be a late winter, early spring game, Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm. But I just know that if I'm watching that thing and then I see, a little villager open up a door, I'm gonna be very excited. Yeah. I cannot wait for a Switch Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at just the representation of that franchise, even in Mario Kart, it's up there. I mean, it's crazy to think that like the Nintendo's franchises have totally like their big franchises have changed. I used to think of it as like that strong trio of Mario, Zelda, and Metroid, and now it's like Mario, Zelda, and Animal Crossing, and Splatoon, and probably ARMS, and Fire Emblem. Exactly. Yeah. So
crazy. Now, so Casey, you're saying yes?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Now, this next one is going to be, probably need to work this out with you guys. It's how many third-party games are going to will be coming to, like, I'm trying to think out loud because it's sort of a poorly written down.
Like new third-party announcements for Switch?
Yeah. But now, okay. I guess during the spotlight, we'll do just because.
Right.
Yeah. So how many new third-party to the Switch during the spotlight, excluding indies, of course.
What's that weird bank robbing game?
Oh, Payday?
It was Yep. What a funny random thing. But I would love for stuff like that to happen, you know? I would love for more of the ports that should have come to Wii U. I'd love for them to come to Switch. Anyway, just because I kind of missed the PS3 360 era.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This one's this is a toughie. This is a toughie for sure.
This is a toughie. But I did say it says how many new games will be announced. I did say 3. And so how many third party are we gonna see?
They don't need to be predictions don't need to line up.
No.
They can make no sense.
That's right. Yep.
And I mean, I did say that Mario Rabbids would be at the spotlight. I guess is that even count as third party? It's third party developed. Either way.
Sure.
You know, I'm just gonna say 1. We'll say 1.
That's a safe bet. For me,
I know what I'm guessing.
I'm gonna go 2.
Yep, that's what I'm going to. Boo. 2 because I think that's. I think that they always talk about third-party stuff at E3, or at least some sort of E3. There's always a sizzle reel or something, and I think it's just really safe to, like, you know, they're gonna show this thing, and it's gonna be the first time you see like Fez, you know, like running on it, and it's just like, oh, where did that come from? You know, like something like that.
The Blizzard logo is gonna pop up. Everyone's gonna freak out thinking it's Overwatch, and then it's gonna be Hearthstone. Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Definitely. I've already, like, there's been a little bit of teasing, I think, a while back on the Hearthstone Twitter account hinting at potential Switch support. So
yeah,
I could definitely see that happening.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
It's a great idea. Although, because I really don't know a lot about Hearthstone, what's the appeal of it on Switch over a mobile?
Probably nothing.
I mean, it's.
No,
nothing, right?
Probably nothing. It's just the fact that it's a mobile console, I guess, you know? So.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, just to be on more platforms.
Because it's kind of like a touchscreen only, right?
No. I guess it is, but, like, I feel like that's something you could easily just be like...
You can map
map,
I played it on my laptop. So.
Oh, perfect,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right.
All right, so now we're going to get into our gold predictions, and why don't you kick us off, Alex, as the trend has been going that way.
Okay, so some of these are a bit more off the wall, and so don't take these as like a hardcore. Like I seriously think these are going to happen, but. Do we want to talk about Smash? Because I feel like that one's kind of like a conservative one.
You could do.
And I feel like I've already addressed it before.
No.
But
go for it.
I think Smash is most definitely going to be shown, and it's not coming out this year, kind of for reasons that we've already discussed. With so much, we already have so much multiplayer stuff with Splatoon and ARMS and Mario Kart, and we also have a fighting game in Pokken Tournament coming in September, so Smash just makes more sense to come next year. So I'm thinking sometime maybe Q1 or Q2 of 2018.
Alrighty, very nice. I'll grab onto my Smash prediction as well. I said Smash would be shown, but it's not going to release until, again, like you said, early next year. And I went as far to say that they would show off some new characters, which would include Ice Climbers, the return of, Inklings, as well as one of the Arms fighters, probably Springman or Ribbon Girl.
Yep.
So those are my sort of, like I said, I don't know as much, I don't want to say pie in the sky, but I think
I could see if they do the Inkling, then the alternate costume will be the boy and the girl.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if they do the Arms, alternate costume would be the Springman or Ribbon Girl. I could totally see that.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Great prediction.
Now, what's your prediction, Per?
All right. So, like I said, I was gonna do a prediction about Mario and Luigi Deluxe, and I was gonna say that they were gonna come out with a new one with the Switch, and then also or announce it. But I decided I'm not gonna do that, and I just changed it to WarioWare, baby.
Ooh, the return of.
Yes, I think that since they did the Rhythm Heaven, Mega Mix, I think that we're due for a WarioWare. We're just due for a WarioWare, and Switch is perfect for that.
So that's going to be a 2018 release.
I don't know. Does that have to be part of it? I guess. I'm gonna say that it's this year.
All right, 2017. Very nice, very nice. All right, on to
sort of the spiritual successor to 1-2 Switch.
Yes.
Right.
Imagine if we got like 1-2 3
and...
Switch instead or something.
Oh God.
I could see Game and Wario 2. That's kind of like the same thing. Okay, cool. So then it's back to Alex.
Alrighty. Let's see. I have like a list of a few, and I'm trying to think of how crazy I want to go here. This one is one that is more just I really wish it would happen, and that's Skyward Sword without the Motion Plus controls. Basically giving it that HD treatment like we saw with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, but for Switch. So that's what I'd like.
Without motion controls.
Right.
Why would how? How would you fight all the little stuff you know what I mean
No, I know. Yeah. I don't know.
All the
that's
enemies
up
are
for
meant
Nintendo
to be,
figure out, not Alex.
Nintendo would think of
but I mean they have the
way.
Joy-Cons though, so why would they do that?
They do, but if I wanted to play it with my Joy-Cons attached to the side.
That's true.
If I'm on the plane and I don't want to try to wave it up and down and sideways to make sure get the Deku Babas just right, and I think they could do it. I think even if maybe there was a way they could map a horizontal slash and a vertical slash, or I don't know, or maybe doing a rotating one with the thumbstick. I don't know. I'm sure they're creative enough to figure out a way to make it work. I would just really like all of the 3D Zeldas not tied to all these weird gimmicky control schemes at some point. And I mean I would love if there was just a full HD collection, or even just if we got Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword all eventually, and then the 3DS versions of Ocarina and Majora's Mask. But we'll stick with just the Skyward Sword announcement.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen either.
Because of Breath of the Wild,
Yeah, no.
But we could hope, though.
If it was announced this year, it could be I just don't feel I feel like that's not a E3 thing. That's a direct thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You told me to go crazy,
everyone.
though.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you're looking at like I said, that's one of my favorite Zeldas. And one of my favorite Wii games. I love that game to death.
Like one of my least. It's one of my least favorite Zeldas, but it's still a good one.
I get it. So. Yeah, I get it. Okay.
All right, my second one here. Now this is a carryover from the January prediction show. I'm hoping, I'm praying that we are going to see Resident Evil 7 for the Switch, an illustrious third-party game that we can hopefully come to expect, but probably not. I know they were looking into, they actually built Resident Evil 7 on like their own custom engine called the RE engine, and I know a few months back, I think it was dated in March, there were reports that they were trying to get it to work, or working on it to make it, run on Switch, and likely would be in like a low power mode of some sort. So I could see sort of, slightly less graphics, maybe 30 frames per second, but still looks good for the Switch. I think that would be, it would make sense. I feel like, Nintendo and Capcom, I know initially with the Street Fighter thing, it was like, we're going to test the waters and see how this goes by releasing this, 25-year-old game for $40 when you could buy it for like $2 on other consoles. But that was sort of quickly alleviated when they, announced Monster Hunter Double Cross. So I'm thinking Nintendo sort of had a history with Resident Evil, Resident Evil 4 or whatnot. I could see 7 coming, and honestly I was thinking even maybe some sort of re-release of 4 on the console as well would be pretty cool. But my prediction for this is going to be Resident Evil 7 for the Switch, hopefully later this year.
And
I think that would be cool.
Capcom has cracked the VR code for Switch, and they're going to release a little affordable Capcom cardboard headset that you can slot your Switch into and get the Resident Evil VR experience on Switch.
Where do I sign up for that?
Yeah, man. I think that's awesome. I think that would be really cool. To be honest, I mean, having done the VR with like just a cell phone, I think it's pretty neat.
But
So,
technically, I
to do
think
something like
I
that.
think cell phone has like a better resolution than the Switch handheld.
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever. That's a nice screen though. But yeah, all right. I like that. I hope that Resident Evil 7 comes. I think that would be a cool game, a hardcore game.
I would absolutely buy it again.
Quote. For people on Switch playing it portably, very cool. Okay, so my second prediction. See, I'm kind of covering my bases here because I did say that Retro isn't gonna talk about their game. But just in case they do, I'm gonna say it's not online. Like it's not gonna have any online component. It's single player only. And it's a brand new IP. It has to have all 3 of those.
Okay.
So no online, new IP.
Single player only.
No online, single player. Alrighty.
Yep. I think that this, with their history, of course they've had the local multiplayer in Prime 2 and in Donkey Kong, but I think with this, I mean, those are still primarily single player games, and I think this one is going to be a new IP, and it's going to be really just focused on single player.
Okay. Do you think it's as far as like
adventure?
Okay, and do you think they'll go? I mean, I don't want to like tie you to any.
Nope. Let's make him harder to get these points.
But no, but I was just curious. Like, do you think it's going to be like a sci-fi thing or like a fantasy thing, or do you have any thoughts on?
What I have in my head is something like a futuristic, spacey but like jungly thing. If that makes sense, which I know that sounds like Metroid Prime and Donkey Kong put together.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, like when I say that, kind of like Breath of the Wild, but more not as open and physics based, and more kind of like set in the future.
Okay.
I can't really colorful and but futuristic.
All right, I'm gonna mark all those down.
Apocalyptic.
And you only get the points if all of that comes true.
Fine.
Perfect.
Fine. I'm fine with that.
Corey in the house,
And
here you come.
It's not a new IP. It's actually The Conduit 3.
Yeah.
The reboot.
I need to play. I want to play those games. I haven't played one of those.
All right, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Number 3. Number 3. I almost said Perry.
Well, actually, to piggyback off Perry and kind of cover my bases, in the event that Retro actually does announce a game,
Yep.
I think it's going to be a third Donkey Kong Country.
Okay. If you can say, I have thoughts on this.
Yeah, and you know what, I do too, because I think, honestly, what's more likely is that, like, Monster Games would possibly take over the series. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, they put Monster Games on, like, working on maybe even just, like, a port of the, like, DKC Returns and Tropical Freeze in sort of, like, a way to tide people over while they're making, like, a third one for Switch. But I don't know, I kind of would just love to see the reaction from people if they announced, you know, Retro's logo comes on the screen and everyone's like thinking, like, either it's going to be some kind of cool new, like, sci-fi you know, single player game, or like a new Metroid, and then you see, like, you know,
a banana peel,
Diddy Kong, you know, with his peanut gun on the screen, and
you see Retro, and it's like really cool, like ambient, like dum 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 dum, and then like Retro for 2018 or whatever, and you just hear. And then it just goes to Donkey Kong, and it's just another. It's. I mean, Donkey Kong Returns 3.
I won't lie, that I would be super excited
with Kiddy Kong.
I love those games, but yeah, I think the shitstorm that would get. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I have thoughts on this. Okay.
Lanky Kong needs to be a playable character. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, for sure. Donkey Kong Country Returns in 2010, when that came out, that was an awesome game, hit game, big seller.
Sold a lot.
Yeah, and that's big for Retro because their games didn't ever sell a lot. So that's why they made Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. And I know, of course, they had ideas that they couldn't use. They make Tropical Freeze, right? HD, looks great. The only thing is that no one knew what the Wii U was, and that's what killed the game.
Oh, are you thinking a port?
It was bad. That was, yeah. No, I'm not thinking a port. I'm just thinking I could see them making another one, on the Switch, and it being actually very successful.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it will
because
be.
of what the Switch is, and what the Wii U wasn't. And so I could see and then, like, you know, pull a Bayonetta 2 thing, where they do Donkey Kong 3, whatever. I'm trying to think of something funny, but I can't. Jungle Escape, and then at the end they do also Tropical Freeze. You know, is coming too.
Right. Yeah. I think it's good.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'd love it.
Yeah, and I think it's also kind of interesting to note, like, when we launched, or around Wii's launch, or anyways, during the Wii time, we had a lot of 2D side-scrolling platformers.
Especially that year.
Yeah, and like Wii U at launch, we had New Super Mario Bros. U. We don't have a Nintendo 2D side-scrolling thing yet.
No, we don't.
So that would definitely fill that void nicely.
I think they can hand that off to someone other than Retro, though.
Right, and that's why I think if they do, if it is not Retro, then it's Monster Games. It's probably Monster Games.
That's a really good prediction. I think that, I mean, me and Casey are in the same boat, where I would be ecstatic for Donkey Kong Returns 3. I think that would be amazing. But I think that I think if anything, it's gonna be a port of Freeze.
I hope they bring back Baby Kong, though.
I think, yeah.
It's
Kitty Kong.
Kitty Kong, Baby Kong, whatever.
I want Lanky. I want Lanky as a big fan of DK64. Lanky.
I'm a big fan of DK64. Huh?
He's the only one.
Hey, that's the other thing it could be, right? A sequel like that, which I really could see a really fun, in the same style as Returns, like same world, as Tropical Freeze and Returns, but 3D,
Yeah.
and actually playing. And I'm telling you, I mean, I understand Donkey Kong 64. I appreciate it for what it is, but I mean, there are some obvious design flaws in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Where
question.
the actual game is fun and like the control is fun and it could be fun, and I think it'd be an awesome 3D platformer. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yep.
Well,
we better keep chugging.
Yep. Now it's
Keep
my
chugging
turn,
away.
right? We're up to my third one. My
Yep,
third
yep.
one is, if you could believe it or not, another third-party game coming to the Switch, and it's going to be Rocket League.
Oh, very good.
Now, I don't know if this is going to be a 2017 launch. It could be early 2018, but I think Rocket League is so big and so popular, and it has such a ravenous fan base that they just love it, and I think on the Switch it'd be a good fit, very multiplayer focused.
I've always thought
you
this,
could
yes.
play that 2-player local co-op, 4-player, however many, who knows, maybe they even let you connect up to a couple, up to 6, I'm pretty sure they go up to 3v3 matches. But I know Rocket League I feel like they just want to be everywhere, and I think it would have a nice fit at home on the Switch, and I don't think it would be so crazy that the Switch should be able to handle it just fine. And I think that would be a big get.
Very good.
I think that'd be a big get.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I like it. I've always thought that. I've always been interested in Rocket League, just never plunged because it's not on a Nintendo system. So, yeah, cool. So are we at
Number 3.
Alex's
Nope.
4?
Yeah.
Right, your
Mine?
third.
My third. Okay. All right. Mario Party 11 is gonna be announced. And that's not why. I mean, that's kind of an easy pick, but I think that
Well, you already knew that from before. We were told by Bendham,
Yeah.
right? Benham?
yeah, by Harnben or whatever.
Cheater.
Poor guy.
Whatever. I think though that a special 2-player only mode will be emphasized on this game, with the idea of it being a quick thing that you can play with another person, each with a Joy-Con on tabletop mode. Get it done in 15-20 minutes, that type of thing. Or like a mini game, but they're gonna talk about that. Like they're gonna say, and there's this new mode, because they always talk about these funny new modes that people don't really care about, but they act like people will care about, and they're gonna talk about it, and then that's what they'll show on the Treehouse Live. They're gonna have those funny, great characters of the people that work at Treehouse sitting there talking the game up with the Joy-Cons, with the red and blue Joy-Cons, and they're gonna be playing this mode. Bim Bam Boom, Mario Party 11.
I like it.
Excellent.
All right, back to Alex now with your 4th prediction.
Okay. All right, I'm going to kind of go back to slightly safer territory and say Miyamoto, well, maybe not maybe he won't specifically do this, but essentially pull a Pikmin out of his pocket. We'll finally get a look at Pikmin 4, and it's coming next year.
2018.
Yeah, I would love that. I think that is a good game to show and not have it immediate, and have it for the next year.
I think it has to be coming within like the next year or so, because we did just get Hey Pikmin, and I think we're probably not getting a smartphone game anytime soon, and I think kind of they're almost using that 3DS game as like a way to sort of advertise to their large install base, and get people possibly interested, kind of get Pikmin back in the mindset of the Nintendo fan base, to kind of pave the way for a full-fledged Pikmin. So
Wet the whistle
Sure,
for the big boy.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think obviously Pikmin 4 was going to be Wii U, and then they just changed it to Switch, and
I like that as well.
That's a good one.
I mean, it is kind of interesting, though, like when we were talking a little bit about Nintendo's release schedule for the rest of the year, it sounds like Mario Rabbids could be August, and then Pokken in September, and October, I mean, if it's not like miraculously like Animal Crossing or it might even be just Fire Emblem Warriors or something. It'd be kind of cool if Pikmin snuck in there. But I'm thinking more likely next year.
Oh, I forgot about Fire Emblem Heroes or Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with my with what Pikmin 4 is going to be. It's going to be Pikmin 4 Lost in New York.
That would be great. That would be great. Or New Donk City. And
then Chibi Robo is going to be guest cameo. Anyway.
All right, my fourth one is that Camelot is back with Mario Golf Switch. And this is going to be, I think, like a March 2018 title. You know, early half the year. And you know, it's been a while since we got Mario Golf for the 3DS. I know we got the sports mix that had like a sort of bare bones golf game in there, but I think we're going to get a full-fledged, beautiful-looking Mario Golf game, and it is going to be awesome.
Yeah. That's a great prediction, Casey, because that is something they do a lot in E3, is they talk about, they might just mention it real quick and show like 15 seconds of it, you know?
And that'll be, a direct later on.
Yeah. I would love that. And oh man, the golf game on 3DS World Tour is so good. I would love a really nice Switch game of golf. That would be awesome. Yeah. Very good. I like it.
All right, your turn. What's number 4?
Okay, so this one's not very exciting, but it's kind of piggybacking off the Mario Party idea. But Animal Crossing will be cooperative, not in the sense that originally I was thinking that you could play 2 players at once with each of their own house doing their own thing, which I could see that possibly, but if that's too harsh, at least on the island there are 2-player mini games, or at least 2-player, where you can go with the Joy-Cons and play with someone else without needing another system. But that will be talked about. You know, I think they're gonna push that multiplayer local thing with the Joy-Cons, because I think it's a good push on stuff, and I think that they like to jump on gimmicks like that. And so I think that's gonna happen. I could see it being a split screen thing, where or if maybe someone's on the same screen with you and it's just tagging along and you're, I don't know, but something. I figure if you got the system with the 2 controllers, and that's a game that you don't need fast, crazy response times, it's a great game that could be played on a Joy-Con by itself, you know? So yeah, that's my prediction, if that makes sense.
Yes, sorry.
Sounds good to me. All right, now we're wrapping up. We're bringing it to the end here. Alex's last prediction.
I've got a list of so many more I want to share, but
we do have a quick.
You can share.
We do have a quick Silly-Willy section, as Perry has dubbed it here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so pick the ones that aren't so silly.
Yeah.
Pick that one first.
Okay. Well, I did kind of want to say no, like Pokemon won't be mentioned, but that's not really fun. So how about something a little more positive? In that I think we are going to finally get confirmation that Dragon Quest XI is coming to the West. I think that would be.
Right.
I think E3 is the place to kind of make a Western announcement like that. So
yeah, for sure.
Until this, up until this point, we've just I believe all we have right now is just July release date for Japan, but no word of it coming here. Yeah, so I just think it makes sense because we just got the Dragon Quest 7 and Dragon Quest 8 on 3DS. Clearly, their Square Enix is making an effort to bring the Dragon Quest games. Like we talked about a little bit earlier, I think with Dragon Quest X being an online focused game that, it has its fan base in Japan, it has its roots there. I think that ship has possibly sailed. I don't know if they necessarily want to try to, rev that up here.
For sure, yeah.
In the West, but obviously Dragon Quest XI is an entirely different story. And yeah, I mean, it's coming to PS4 and 3DS, and also Switch in Japan. And the PlayStation 4 user base is much larger in the rest of the world than it is in Japan. So I'd imagine they're working on that PS4 version not just for the limited, install base that they have in Japan. So.
No, that's a sound prediction right there. I like that one.
Yeah, I could totally see that. That's a pretty good chunk of their spotlight is Dragon Quest XI. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to need to get my conductor's hat for this. Hold on one sec. Pop that on, because I'm getting on the hype train right here. This one, I'm going all in. Animal Crossing Switch is coming out this year. It is coming out holiday 2017, and it's going to be amazing because Xenoblade's getting pushed back, and that's going to open up...
That's not amazing.
That, you know what, though? That isn't amazing, but it would be A-okay by me to open up a perfect spot for Animal Crossing Switch. And the best thing about this Animal Crossing Switch is...
Yes.
That it has a board game.
Oh, no. Yeah, Amiibo Festival 2.
We've integrated Amiibo Festival.
The biggest troll, it's like a beautiful, like, completely beautiful trailer showing, like, all this. And, like, they walk up
Gorgeous
to, like, a board
and,
game,
like...
and then all of a sudden it zooms into Amiibo Festival. But, no, I think... the best thing it's going to have... So when you play Mario Kart 8 and you're going through that Animal Crossing town, what's so cool is that for once, like, the buildings are big and you see from that point of view, I think the newest Animal Crossing is going to have it where you can have that top-down view, but you can also bring it in tight and you can walk, like, sort of just, like, maybe not over the shoulder like a third-person shooter, but, like, the camera behind the head, and you can get close and you can see, trees and houses from that perspective as if you are that animal, you know what I mean? Or your person in Animal Crossing. 2017, man. Here it goes. I'm going all in.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Very good, Case. I like the Xenoblade getting pushed back for that.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want it canceled, or not canceled, of course not canceled. I wouldn't want it delayed, but if it meant Animal Crossing this year, where do I sign?
Yeah. I mean, that'll be an amazing game on Switch. Yeah.
All right, Perry.
All right.
You bring us home.
All right. So, I feel this is a pretty descript prediction. Okay, ready?
I better get my typing skills ready.
Yeah. A little game will be talked about briefly during the spotlight from Nintendo and played during the Treehouse Live that has a huge emphasis on HD rumble. Kind of like the safe crack or the ball rolling game from 1-2 Switch. That'll be the thing. It sounds really simple in theory, and to us, we won't be able to figure out if it's an eShop title or a $50 retail game. That's going to be part of our thinking, and we will like it and praise it anyway.
Pikmin Pluckers.
Pikmin Pluckers. There you go.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you can really feel as you rip them out of the ground.
That is so funny.
Yeah. Man, couldn't you totally see Mario Kart stage with Pikmin, where they're all zoomed down little, and you're going past Bulborbs and
going through like blades
Olimar.
of grass.
Oh, that's so happening.
Wait, so what is the prediction exactly? It's just
the prediction is a little game will be talked about briefly during the spotlight and played during the Treehouse Live that has a huge emphasis on HD rumble, kind of like the safe crack and ball rolling game. That sounds really simple in theory and balances between small eShop title and $50 retail. We will like it and praise it.
All
and
right.
It's titled Pikmin Pluckers.
Emphasis on HD rumble, Pikmin Pluckers.
Here, dude, I can just copy that.
Nope, too late.
If you want. Okay.
Alrighty, so we now have all of our predictions in for who's going to play Corey in the house. I think we've got a bunch of pretty good predictions here. Some wild ones, but a lot of good ones that I hope end up coming true. I just hope. And I'm pretty sure. No, I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure that we could all get the score of 0. Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember my January predictions scorecard, and it was not pretty. So I hope this one's a little bit better. I guess real quick, because this show is going super duper long. Let's give just a couple of the silly willies. These aren't going to count towards our scores at all. As Perry says, this is for the street cred, not the actual cred. And I guess as we've been doing, Alex, why don't you run through run through them a couple. We'll talk about it for a hot second, and we'll move on. Okay, cool. Eternal Darkness 2. They're gonna bring. They're gonna. Dennis Diak's back. Oh yeah. They're gonna bring Dennis Diak back in special partnership. It's gonna be crowdfunded again. They're gonna try it one more time because Nintendo's not willing to pony up all the cash. You're gonna pull a Sony. Bravo. Yep. And one of the stretch goals is going to be an HD port of Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. They're gonna negotiate that with Konami. And make that happen. Maybe bring back the old Silicon Knights team to get this. Or the original Eternal Darkness. What's that? Or the original. Well, yeah. I think it's a full package deal. That's also one of the stretch goals. So we're gonna get both Silicon Knights games. We're gonna get Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes and Eternal Darkness, the original, both remastered for Switch, plus Eternal Darkness 2. And that Wii game, Star Wars game that they never released. Yeah. That is done. Yep. Gotcha. Nice. That's a good one. That is a good one. Do you have any more? Or is that the coup de grace? Yes. One more. That Konami is back with a new Silent Hill. It's going to actually be called Silent Hills. It's going to have a character that looks very much like Norman Reedus. And it's going to be Switch exclusive. Oh, man. That'd be epic. That would be awesome. I think that would be a sweet thing to do. Honestly, I wish they would do stuff like that. I wish Nintendo would strive for things like that. Like, remember Resident Evil 4? Remember how big of a deal that was on GameCube and an exclusive and one of the best GameCube games? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that was a huge deal. So games like that, I mean, can be, make it or break it. But all right. My silly willies. Okay, yeah. Rhythm Heaven. Surprise launch and announcement on the Treehouse. After last year's great reception with their showing off the Mega Mix and dropping it right then and there, boom! It's happening again this year. Rhythm Heaven, let's go. Yeah, but they didn't show it last year and then announce it. They had already announced it, and it had already been out in Japan. Well, this year's a little different, baby. Let's go. And we're also gonna get Mother 3. Standalone virtual console game. It won't even be it'll just be Mother 3. Boom. Nice. Yeah. Like it'll just be like an eShop game. Yeah, eShop download. That's funny. Mother 3 has not come up in this whole thing yet until now. That's true. You're right. You know what it is? It'll be an arcade classic. You know what? It's so funny. You know what it is? If there was some sort of concrete virtual console, I guarantee everyone would be like, Mother 3 is 100% happening this year. It totally now we're like, yeah. Now it's freaking putting the silly willies. Maybe there's gonna be NES games this year. Yeah. All right, Perry, what you got? Yep. Okay, so we've all been waiting for the Waluigi game, right? No. We've all been waiting. But I was thinking about it, and then the longer I think about this, the more sense it actually makes. Legitimately, are you ready? I'm all ears. 2 words: Waluigi pinball. I can see it. Right? Okay. They had Super Mario Pinball Land. Remember that? Is it released? Game Boy Advance game during E3. They had Metroid Prime Pinball. They make pinball. No, well, maybe. It's a silly willy. You can go as crazy as you want. But Waluigi
Waluigi Pinball, he already has set the precedent with Mario Kart DS and 7 with the pinball stage. So he already has that association, and just rebrand it Waluigi Pinball, baby. I'm just saying. I could see it. It'd be amazing.
That's Silly-Willy right there.
Yep.
I like it.
That's a Silly-Willy. Now, my last one. So, Wii Sports. Where's that gone? There's no Wii. They're not going to be using that name anymore. Casey gave me the idea they could just go. They're just going to go with Me, since Mii's are still there. Barely, but they're still there. I still think it has some credibility, the Me name. So, Me Sports.
Oh God.
Boom, right? Me Sports, right? That's totally in the realm. But here's the thing. The original Wii Sports, and then there was Wii Sports Resort on an island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Me Sports on the moon.
Ultra Moon?
No. No, that's the sequel. Me Sports on the moon. Space tennis, space golf, space bowling.
Honestly, space golf could be fun. Although I guess you just hit the ball and that would be it.
Yeah.
It'd actually be terrible.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did you know that Peter Sallis passed away? The guy that did Wallace and Gromit? Which is really sad. But anyway, there's that on Wallace and Gromit, they go to the moon because it's made of cheese and they want to try it. And they go to the moon and he has like a soccer ball and he's just walking up and he just kicks it and it just goes up into the air and he just waits for it to fall back and it never comes down. It's classic. Oh, I feel bad. Peter Sallis is pretty great. One of the best voices ever. Okay, but that's it. That's all I had. Me Sports on the moon and Waluigi Pinball.
Alrighty. Now, we are done with predictions. Next week we will come back. Obviously, we're going to be talking all about what happens with Nintendo and E3. We will go over the results of our here predictions. Before we go, we got a few housekeeping things, but real quick, as we're doing predictions, we got some news out of Atlas via, I guess they sort of screwed up when they were doing test pages, or test sites for their games. Etrian Odyssey 5 is coming to North America this fall. We have, Radiant Historia, we knew that was getting a remake in Japan. That is coming westbound as well in early 2018, as well as Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux coming in early 2018. So, with that, the 3DS lives until 2018 at least. I'm pretty excited for those games.
Beautiful.
That's good stuff. Now, we have... get on to the housekeeping thing. We have a winner for our giveaway, and why don't you announce the winner for this, Perry?
All right, Daniel Fugate, or Fugate, at DF2506. Now is this is Reddit?
Nope.
He was off Reddit.
Nope. This
right?
was Twitter.
Oh, this was Twitter. Okay,
we
sorry.
had a Twitter winner.
It kind of looked like. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, and he had predictions. He said Nintendo will not reveal anything about their internet at E3, which that's safe prediction.
They did it beforehand.
But they will have a ton of Switch games. There will be a few 3DS games too.
He's not wrong.
I think that's a safe
he's
bet.
not wrong.
Yeah, because a ton of Switch games could be. That's just relative.
I hope
But
not a
also,
metric ton.
we have another winner. To my podcast listener exclusive giveaway. If you wrote into us, which ended up being 5. Only 5 people emailed us, which I know there was a lot more people listening, but only 5. So that's how big your chances are.
20%.
But the lucky winner is Nick Herbst. And I will be getting in contact with you, Nick. And I have this huge selection of delicious games and stuff to pick from, including, but not limited to, Transformers Prime. No, No, I there's a lot of good stuff. There's Pokemon Sun, Moon,
Corey in the House.
Sapphire, Corey in the House soon to be Corey in the House.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I'm gonna send you everything that I got, and you can pick one, and I'll send it to you.
Awesome, awesome.
That's
Now, before we go, we actually have another contest giveaway, and this time it's a heavy duty giveaway. In honor,
it has legs.
yes, it does. In honor of the greatest game ever to come out on the Switch. Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but we are going to give away a
Okay.
copy of.
Yeah, it's a lot better than Zelda.
It's deeper now. We are going to give away a copy of Arms, and
Oh yeah, cue the music. No, not you, Casey.
you know I love singing that song. Yes, we're going to be giving away a copy of Arms, a physical copy. So what you're going to need to do is hop over to our Twitter page. It's going to be, the standard like, follow, retweet. If you follow us on Twitter, you're automatically entered for all future contests and giveaways, so make sure to do that. There'll probably be some sort of form of tweeting in for another entry, but we haven't even gotten that far yet. But it will be posted when you're hearing this, so make sure to check our Twitter at Talk Nintendo Pod. That is Talk Nintendo POD. And we want to thank Alex for coming aboard again.
Alex, thank you so much for coming on.
I want to
man.
thank you guys for having me because I enjoy this so much.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
This is a blast.
It's quite fun.
We need an E3 every month so I can do predictions with you guys every month.
I know it's.
We
fun,
need
isn't
more
it?
Silly-Willies. Oh gosh.
Yes.
Now, Alex, why don't you
Well,
tell the fine people where they can find you and your wares?
You can find me on the internet at Alex C. Osborn. That's on Twitter and all the social medias. So just type in Alex C. Osborn into Google and you'll find me.
Yeah, follow him on, subscribe to him on YouTube.
Yes, great videos.
He puts out some excellent videos frequently. Nice, cute videos that you can watch while, like, for instance, when I watch them, it's usually when I go to the bathroom.
You weirdo.
You go to the bathroom, you're there, I can watch it, I can be done. I'm done.
And on that note,
I time them specifically so they're a good bathroom length.
Exactly.
Yeah.
unlike this podcast,
It's appealing. No, yeah. Yes, but seriously, follow him. He also writes and does a lot of editing at IGN. So that's exciting. So you might just see his name up there on, like I do, on those IGN articles, which is cool.
Thanks for having me, guys.
no problem. Again, thanks
Yeah.
for joining us, and we
And before we go, we announced last week we're on YouTube now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we're posting these to YouTube. We want ideas for things we can do on YouTube. Just little fun ideas. Because it'd be fun to do like little video things on there. Casey just did a reaction to Twintel, the Arms fighter. That's on the page right now. It's really good. Check that out. And we want to do more stuff like that. So just wanted to plug that.
And that
too.
is
So
Talk Nintendo Pod on YouTube.
Nope, that is.
no, I think it's Talk Nintendo.
Yep, we got.
Okay.
Somehow we were able to get just Talk Nintendo on both YouTube and Twitch, so we snagged those up.
That is excellent.
So
Isn't that crazy?
yeah, I was surprised they
I
were
can't believe
still
Talk
there.
Nintendo wasn't taken.
But again, on that note, we're gonna wrap up. Thanks for stopping by, everyone, and we are super excited to get back to you next week with all of the E3 goodness.
Man, next time you hear us, E3 is gonna be
We'll be
done.
talking about how dope Metroid Prime looks and how great Animal Crossing is going to be later this year.
I want lanky.
I think Nibbler's got it right.
Reggie's like, the 3DS, and then Bill's like, the 3DS? And he's like, the 3DS. You know.
That would be 3. That would be 3 times.
The 3DS? The 3DS. And that's it.
Honestly, Space Golf could be fun. To the old 3DS, we have Of Mice and Sand for $7.99. Now, this is based on Steinbeck's lesser-known sequel, and it is a simulation game, I believe, right? Breed mice, what? And they wrapped Shamu up in the blankets, dude, and they took him away forever. Like a barbecue. And,
not that again.
Yeah,
not that again.
Dude, that's it, man. That's the proof is in the pudding right there. I'm telling you.
The proof of what, Casey?
That Metroid is coming out, and it's...
No.
Why?
No.
Why is the barbecue the proof?
Because it's prime rib, baby.
It's not, though. It wasn't prime rib.
It was a rump roast, but that's okay.
Pikmin pluckers.